1,000 candles on the cake, and we did that. Nothing crazy. It was a busy, long weekend. I got a bunch of days off in a row, and I'm in town. I try to take care of that.
Did your kids call you old? Do they think you're old now?
They don't discuss it.
1,000 candles, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was as many as we had in the house. It was however many we had in the house. We reuse birthday candles in this house.
Oh, really?
I mean, why burn them for one use? They're really tall ones. Why just burn them
so
once?
Which ones? You're not just using the cheap little ones?
They're like taller ones for a cake. I don't remember. We bought probably like 5 birthday cakes.
You're not consistently blowing out the age 7 candle?
No.
He just every year. Why, Dad, I'm not 3 anymore. Why do we keep blowing out the 3-year-old candy?
Those have gone. The ones that we've had the numbers, they've gone, other than the ones that got I think the 4 we got 2 uses out of. One when my daughter was 4, and then a couple years later when it was still in the drawer and my son was turning 4. But
yeah.
Other than that, no, we just use, the number of candles as old you are until that's no longer cool.
You guys can hit us up on the J. Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965. Also, video stream up and running on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, X. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss this show or any of the shows, of course, on 96.5 The Fan. But we'll starting today, get in our normal routine of guests that we're going to have throughout the season. Nate Taylor is going to join us at 11 o'clock. He'll be joining us every Tuesday during the season. Later on this week, we'll have Josh Klingler join us. He, of course, is headed to Brazil for the Chiefs Radio Network. Chiefs Chargers right here on 96.5 The Fan, your home for the Chiefs. That's Friday night here. Looking forward to that. Ross Tucker, our old friend, is going to be joining us every Wednesday throughout the season. You guys know how much fun we've had having him on the last couple of years. Looking forward to that. We'll also, throughout the football season, have Paul Charchian joining us. I think I got everybody covered. And then, of course, we still have our baseball guests throughout the remainder of the season, hopefully into October as well. But let's start with Friday night because it is game week, and that brings plenty of excitement and everything. But it also is a chance immediately both for your division and just the national narrative to kind of shut everybody up. The Chiefs get in so much with a strong performance on Friday night, and the Chargers are one of those teams in the division. I would say them and the Broncos, not the Raiders. Them and the Broncos are the only 2 teams that have any remote chance to push you. Even if I think the Broncos are going to be better than the Chargers, I recognize that the Chargers last year were a playoff team, and it's an opportunity to have a statement win on Friday night in Brazil.
Obviously, without their left tackle, I think people have softened their stance a little bit on where they are. But yes, I do think that this is the moment to maybe not establish yourself as the preeminent dominant force of the NFL this year, because you do have games against the Ravens and the Eagles in the next few weeks as well in the month of September. So, you have some big boys on the schedule who I think mean more than the Chargers do. Not just a playoff team. The Ravens have had the number 1 seed, have won their division, have accomplished more, truthfully, and have an MVP from a couple of years ago on their squad as well. So I do think that there's more to those games as far as where you are in the NFL. But I do think it can just reassert your dominance in the AFC West. Go out and beat them by a couple of touchdowns and be like, well, just so you all know, this didn't change. And we're planning on maintaining the same. And you and I both agree that the Broncos are probably the more difficult test. But a neutral site game, opening week, nobody's seen you play. Nobody's seen you with a currently healthy group of offensive weapons. I know they're still without Rashee Rice because of the suspension. But I still think this unit that they're rolling out offensively is better than anything they rolled out at any point last year. So I do, especially because of Simmons at left tackle, I expect more out of the first 6 games of offense this year than we got out of the first 6 games last year. And that included a couple of games of Rashee Rice, but a rookie-worthy, no Hollywood, all the stuff that we've talked about before.
Every year is truly different. You're talking about the offense there. There's a chance the offense is a lot better, and there's a chance the defense is slightly worse, and it balances itself out. And we'll see how it plays out. It's also, as we all know, I don't care what city, what market you're in, whether we're here doing a show in Kansas City, if we were doing a show in Dallas, whatever it may be, week 1, we always know, is so many opinions are formed off of one game, and there's plenty of overreaction that happens, good or bad, right? Like the Chiefs go and score 38 points in Brazil against the Chargers. It doesn't mean they're going to have the best offense in the NFL this season. If they go and score 20, it doesn't mean the offense still stinks. But that's what's fun about this whole thing. Week 1 does set a lot of people's opinions, but I thought Kyle Brandt hit it on the head with what the rest of this week could look like. Because we all can't wait till Friday night. It's going to be awesome in Brazil when the Chiefs play the Chargers. But there will be at least a few more days of some bold / terrible takes that are out there nationally. Kyle Brandt from NFL Network kind of laid out what we should expect around the Chiefs for the next couple of days.
You're going to see something this week, and you're going to see something this week in media where someone out there or some people are going to be like, look at me. I am going to go against the Chiefs, and I'm going to go all in against the Chiefs, and I'm going to say something crazy like, not only the Chiefs not go to the Super Bowl, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to go 7-10, and it's going to completely fall apart. Now, maybe that person really means that. Maybe they don't mean it. This is a big, big week for people out there, maybe it's on our show, maybe it's on others, to draw attention and draw eyeballs by picking apart the Chiefs and saying that thing's going to fall apart. I saw it with the Patriots. People would do it for years. You just say the Patriots run is over and everybody blows up. If you see someone saying the Chiefs are going to completely fall off the map this year, like it's just going to stop, the party's going to stop, take a minute and ask yourself, do you really believe what they're saying? Or are they being a provocateur who's going to toss a Molotov cocktail into social media and just wait for the clicks? Because that person will come. Now, maybe they mean it and they have really good backup meaning behind it. I look at the Chiefs. Yes, they got hammered in the Super Bowl. Hammered. They won 15 games in the regular season last year, then pretty casually beat a very good Houston Texans team, then beat the MVP again in Buffalo, and they just ran into an Eagles team that I think would have beaten the 92 Cowboys. That's one of the best teams I've ever seen. So if you're thinking like Super Bowl hangover, we've seen the Chiefs lose a hangover before. Yeah, but we've seen them get destroyed in the Super Bowl.
And he goes on from there. That's Kyle Brandt on NFL Network. And we've kind of hinted at that throughout the entire offseason. The lasting image people have is the Super Bowl where they got their butts kicked. And so that's what I'm so excited about with Friday, Cody, is just that it truly is a chance to wipe that clean and truly move on, yes, but also hopefully prove some people wrong. I understand the flip side is the same too, where if the Chiefs were to look bad on Friday night against the Chargers, people are going to say, see, I told you.
They'll be ready.
So be ready for that as well. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think the Chiefs are going to win Friday night, but even if they were to lose, they're not getting their butts kicked by the Chargers. Okay.
The way I view this a lot of times, like, and what he's talking about is under normal circumstances, I actually don't even think it'd be that crazy. I watched 15 win Panthers teams fall off. I've watched teams that won 13 games the year before turn into 9-win teams. I've watched plenty. There's a lot of ebb and flow in the NFL. Hell, if you told me all of a sudden the Lions weren't nearly as good as they were last year, a team that had the #1 seed in the NFC, I'd believe you. And they have a lot of the same talent on their roster as they did a year before. That stuff happens in the NFL all the time. But the Chiefs have already proven themselves, Gold, to be the exception to the rule. You don't have to predict their downfall. They're the exception. There's usually, typically in the NFL at any one time, one who's not going to have this ebb and flow, this downside, this downswell. It was the Patriots for 20 damn years, and now it's the Chiefs. There's no other, and honestly, to a point, we got like 1.5 in the NFL right now because the Bills never truly drop off, but their down year is still a divisional round loss somewhere. That is honestly, I think, worst case scenario for the Chiefs this year, if they stay healthy or whatever. The worst year I could possibly see them having is they win the division, they lose in the divisional round, which would be the first time they didn't get to a conference title game as Patrick Mahomes is a starter. That's not, you don't, and I think we ran into this with Ross Tucker, who'll join us tomorrow once, when he was like, the Chiefs are not repeating as Super Bowl champions. And they lost in the Super Bowl that year to the Bucs. I'm like, you don't get a claim. The victory flag doesn't get planted. If you say the Chiefs are shot, they're done, it's over, and they lose in Baltimore in the divisional round, they're not done. They just finished where most teams finish in a season. That's pretty normal. You don't get to claim victory.
But that's kind of what
Kyle's done would be missing the playoffs.
Kind of what Kyle's saying. Like if you're predicting them to miss the playoffs, one, I think you're not very intelligent. But if that happens, then you can throw yourself a parade and pat yourself on the back if they miss the playoffs, right? I think it's a terrible take to have about the Kansas City Chiefs in 2025. But if that's your prediction that they're not making the playoffs, and you actually believe that, then fine. You can tell us we were all wrong in 4 months or whatever it is. I don't think that'll be the case though. But that truly, we've been saying it all offseason. That's truly what I'm excited about the most on Friday is we can be done talking about the Super Bowl #1, but also remind people very quickly that Patrick Mahomes still exists. He's not 38 years old.
No.
Andy Reid is still one of, if not the best coaches in football, period. I still think he is the best coach in football. And they've got some pieces that are in better position to succeed this year than a year ago, as you mentioned, with the offensive line and even the wide receiver room as well. So that's what's fun about Friday night. We'll talk plenty more individually about the Chargers as the week goes on. We'll have plenty of chances to predict exact stuff with that game. Obviously, we'll have some of our AFC West picks coming up later in the week. Later on in the show today, we'll continue our divisional carousel, going division by division, making our picks. Today, I believe we shift to the NFC North.
One of the more interesting divisions, I would say, in the NFL.
But before we get there, I do want to talk some baseball because somewhat of surprising news in the last 48 hours or so, is that the September call-ups are both Cags and Carter Jensen. We had JJ Piccolo on the show last week, and you and I took it as, this doesn't sound like they're for sure calling up Cags.
But that they're having a hard time deciding what to do.
And we both thought, would they really call up Carter Jensen? Well, they did both. Now, they were able to do it if you're wondering how did the math work out, because JJ last week said they were going to call up one hitter, one pitcher.
And they called
up three players. Well, that's because Jonathan India is on the IL. That's how they were able to do it. So Avila's up, Cags is back up, and Carter Jensen will make his big league debut potentially tonight. Now, I don't know what the lineup is. They give me a pinch hitter. I have no idea, right? But he will make his debut very, very soon in the big leagues. This is your top prospect at this point in time in your system, a top 100 prospect in baseball. It is another sign, though. Move the chips to the middle of the table again. That doesn't mean that it's going to work out, that they're going to make the playoffs, but they're doing everything possible without jeopardizing the future, going back to the trade deadline as well and how they operated, to be all in, to make the playoffs this year, while also positioning themselves still to be okay in 2026 and not jeopardize that season.
The way I view it is I refuse to be. And if you want to be what I deem to be the most negative version of a Royals fan on the planet, which is, it's not going to mean anything. Fine, I guess. Just be that person if that's who you want to be. And it is what it is. And that is life, I guess, as we know it. Because the truth is, I am happy that the Royals are trying. This is trying. Because if they're 2.5 games back right now of a playoff spot, which is closer than they were a week ago, although there's another team in front of them.
Now Texas is in front of them. That's the only problem.
Yeah, but again, my whole point on them the whole time was it was always about catching the Mariners anyway. And if you catch the Mariners, I think you catch the Rangers, if that makes sense. I don't think I think that will take care of itself.
Hopefully,
maybe not.
The Rangers have won 8 of their last 10 or something. But anyway.
Totally. But in my mind, that's how it'll work. Maybe it's a flawed logic, but it's the logic I'm using right now. Is that I am never, ever going to be mad at the team that you root for trying to win, especially in a small market baseball situation where this is it. And the truth is with the Royals is it is still a long shot that they become a playoff team. We're in the final month of the season. They only have 4 weeks left of baseball remaining. But if they're going to do it, the upside on Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen is far higher than just sticking with your current Major League roster. It is maybe the most left-handed lineup of all time. So I have no idea what the hell they'll do, Gold, when they're facing any kind of right-handed pitcher at all. Or, I'm sorry, any kind of left-handed pitcher at all. Adam Frazier's going to get a lot of work against any lefty on the planet. So I don't know how they'll fix that problem because Cags is a lefty, Carter Jensen's a lefty, they already have Vinny in the lineup, and a million other guys who hit from the left side of the plate. But yeah, I'm excited to watch Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. Carter Jensen, for what it's worth, if you guys haven't been following his career as much, obviously he's a local kid. He tore it up in Omaha, 288, 404 on base in 43 games. He also had a lot of power down there, hit 14 home runs in 43 games. And I gave you Jack Caglione's AAA stats since he's been back up. He's hitting 400 with a 500, like a 600 slug in that amount of time. So these are two guys hot right now and a chance for Cags to get all the confidence in the world and the future catcher. And the small part of Carter Jensen that is really important is I didn't want Salvi catching this much at the end of the year anyway. He's a better hitter, Gold, when he gets days off. If Carter Jensen can catch some and possibly provide you a lot more offensive than Luke Maile, I'm in. Sold.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how both Q and I'll say Salvi because he's of course part of this almost decision making process as well. But just how do they navigate that? But also in general with the amount of lefties that they have in the lineup and how they make that work. You're right about Frazier and Massey. That gets simplified with the Jonathan India IL stint that's now happening, unfortunately for him. But how do they on a daily basis figure this thing out? And are we just going to see a lot of pinch hit at bats? Late in games where Kaggs comes off the bench or even Carter Jensen's bat comes off the bench. It gives you some options there. But, yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting Kaggs to just be the everyday guy at this point in time. That's something in 2026 that he'll obviously be the starting right fielder for this team.
Unless he gets hot, then I think he'll be
But I think they're going to play the hot hand. Yeah, I mean, if he gets called up on a couple of pinch hit opportunities or if he does get the nod in the lineup in the next day or two and he hits well, they're going to want to ride that train as long as possible. He still provides something that not many people in the lineup have, and that, of course, is pop, the home run potential. That's why the call-up here still makes sense, even if you think the average is not going to be there, and that's something that's going to have to be worked on more in terms of his swing in the offseason heading into 2026. But I'm happy they did this. I'll admit, I did not think this was going to be the move that they made based on our conversation last week with JJ, but I'm really happy that these are the two guys that they called up.
The way I look at it, and the same thing that you said, is like Kaggs can play himself into an everyday player immediately. They let Adam Frazier become an everyday player. When they traded for him, like 2-3 days a week, 3-4, pinch, defensive efforts, pinch running, maybe a pinch hitting situation, depending on the matchup. They were not intending on playing Adam Frazier every single day. Then he got hot. Then he's one of their better hitters since they traded for him at the All-Star break, and so they played him every day. If Kaggs hits, he'll be in the lineup every damn night, unless it's a lefty probably on the mound for the starting pitching, unless it's after the seventh inning and they want a defensive replacement.
Someone over on the Jay Southland Toasters text line asked the question, this, of course, 913-586-7965. They said, hey, are we worried if Jack isn't better this time around that he's not who we thought he was, basically? I still think it's more about next season. So, yeah, I would love for him to come up now in September and absolutely just rake. That would be awesome. And also, if he does that, they make the playoffs. Like, seriously, if Kaggs comes up and he rakes and all of a sudden, and then the next month he hits multiple homers.
Like he did in AAA?
Then yeah, they're making the playoffs. But no, in terms of bigger picture, the question you're asking on the text line, do we know who he is, what he is for sure by the end of September? No. It's got to be all of 2026 before you can start freaking out about whether or not he's that guy or not or anything like that. So it's still about 2026 for him, but let's see if he can't provide something for this team and, build some confidence heading into the offseason.
Hit us up on the text line, like you said, 913-586-7965. YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, where we live stream the show. Someone on Twitch said, hey, I hope you had a nice birthday weekend. I just hope it was better than Bill Belichick's. I said, I don't think anyone had a worse weekend than Bill Belichick, who decided to go from the NFL to college football and then got his butt whipped on national television in a standalone game. This all goes back to the thing we said with the Andy Reid stuff. If he ends up to be a bad college coach, and I don't know that he will, he ends up being a bad college coach, everyone's going to universally agree that Andy Reid is the best coach in NFL history because they'll be like, that guy can't even win at North Carolina. He's lost a step. I don't think that they're going to be an awful team, but he's lost some version. I don't think he knows. Some people don't adjust or whatever. He's in his 80s or 70s or whatever the hell. I just think he's lost a step. I don't think Bill's the Bill of the Patriots run. That's all.
A couple things. Number one, did I enjoy last night? Of course. Of course I enjoyed watching him get his ass kicked. I disagree with you're right what the perception will be, but I don't agree that
this is the last year in New England too, not just
for
this
sure.
game.
But one college football game where his roster clearly is not where it needs to be in his first year as the head coach, one game where they got their butts kicked does not now mean that he just has lost it. I disagree with that. I agree with your premise, though, which we did discuss when he took the job, which is Andy Reid's going to finish on a heater, his career. Bill Belichick likely is not. And so the lasting impression people are going to have is Bill Belichick as a losing football coach. Yeah, that might be the case. And so that'll sway people. But I disagree that we just already know now that it's not going to work at North Carolina. But it wasn't pretty. They lost 48-14. A lot of people had their jokes last night that I thought were pretty funny and enjoyable. My favorite one was The one about Bill Belichick, coincidentally, was 41 when Jordan Hudson was 7, as the
When they
score
were
was
definitely
48.
when 7.
But that's
pretty good.
That
that's
one was
giving Bill
crazy.
Belichick too much credit. I think he was actually 50-something when that was happening.
I saw multiple things of, do you think Jordan Hudson chewed out the team at halftime? Those sorts of things.
Yeah, it was not the debut they were hoping. That first drive though was great. First drive, you're like that was the highlight of the night for North Carolina. They looked great on the scripted 10, scripted 15 there for North Carolina, but it was abysmal performance all the way around. And now their quarterback's hurt too, so it could be a long year there in Chapel Bill.
I guess the question is if they
That made me
win 4
cringe.
games,
I hate when people call it that.
For you.
If they win like 4 games, is he going to want to keep doing this? Man, I saw a TCU player after the game on like Instagram saying Belichick got to call his girlfriend. He's sad.
Oh yeah, he went on live after the game.
Wow.
Instagram
I
live
saw
and dunked on
TCU
him.
felt disrespected. Nobody was talking about them.
Oh, God.
It was all about Bill Belichick. And then, of course, the last time they took on a first-year head coach or first-time FBS head coach, or at least at that level, Power 4 football, Dion in Colorado whooped them. So TCU was out for blood yesterday. That's for sure.
There was one player I saw last night. He had 4 missed tackles and allowed 9 catches on 9 targets for 135 yards and two touchdowns, I think. TCU had 4 missed tackles as a team. And this one corner for UNC was just getting targeted for the entire stretch.
How many wins do you think North Carolina gets, Drew? You're the college football guy.
I think 4 or 5.
Their schedule is soft still.
Yeah, which is why I think 4 or 5 is a reasonable expectation. Because I think the over-under for Colorado was 4.5 in Dion's first season.
3.5? 4.5? Something like that?
It was
pretty
3.5 for Dion's first year.
So North Carolina has Charlotte, then Richmond.
They better beat
unless
Charlotte.
they're like really, really bad. Those are 2 wins. Unless they're just going to turn.
Correct.
Then UCF. They're going to be underdogs probably. Then Clemson, obviously, underdog.
They're getting worked by Clemson.
Cal,
Oh, man.
Virginia, Syracuse, Stanford, Wake Forest, Duke, NC State. I still think they can, if their quarterback's hurt, and then Brad Johnson's son was nice for a couple drives, but like if he's just not that good, then maybe they are only a 3-win team. Otherwise, I still think they probably win 5 games this year.
I think 4 or 5 is
TCU
reasonable.
might just be pretty darn good. How about that?
They
and,
also
their
might be
quarterback's
really
returner, and he looked pretty impressive last night. So we'll see. There was a funny moment in the broadcast. So Kirk Herbstreit was there. They were coming back
Was
from
his
break.
dog there? I haven't seen it
Wow.
up.
Yeah, Peter.
Are we sure?
Wait, he has a dog? I wasn't aware. So
More
no,
than one, I
I'm
believe.
such a hater with stuff.
I think you are, yeah.
He has more than one. The other dog's just at home. He hates his other. That's the headline. Kirk Herbstreit hates his other dog.
So there was a hot mic
Jeez.
moment. We've had hot mics before. It happens, You hope you're not saying anything bad. Can we predict? Can we guess? What do we think Herbstreit was talking about here?
They're bad. Fourth quarter starting here in Chapel Hill. It has been all TCU.
Was he talking to his dog, or
They're bad.
or do you think Fowler was making a joke
Yeah, that.
and about the game or something? And he's like,
That or he
"Oh,
was having an interesting phone call in a few minutes. He
I'm
wasn't on the
guessing-
broadcast.
I'm
Did you
guessing
see his
Fowler-
explanation?
No, what did he say?
He said he was talking to his spotter and who had made a joke,
Okay.
and he
That makes sense. Somebody made a joke clearly, and he's like, that's clearly what happened. But it's fun that the Twitter comments were pretty funny about guessing what he was actually talking about.
They're bad.
It's unfortunate for him that he said that
groan at the
that
end.
way because that is going to get used a lot. I mean, just
You're bad.
a lot. And then the guttural after it. That does not help.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's that part of it.
It kind of reminds me of yours. That's the same. You notice the difference? That's yours, and then you have Herbstreit, and his is a little bit different. It's just a little bit different between the two of you.
I don't know which one more to listen to.
It's got to be Herbstreit. Herbstreit's is the more cringe one than yours even. It's Herbstreit's.
I don't know. It's a close call, It's a close call. I don't know.
Neither is good. It's probably because you know me.
Hang
you
on.
think Mine's worse.
When you recorded that, was it actually in the song, or did you
Yes.
just?
No,
or did
it's
you
in
just
the
do-
song.
oh, okay.
There's multiple sounds like that in the song because it was Daddy Day.
Yeah.
No, Reese Davis, sorry. I said Chris Fowler. Whatever. You guys know what I meant. All right, up next, let's talk about the legit contenders for a Lombardi this year. I think there's only a handful. We'll see if you guys agree about them. Plus, K-State had a close call in Manhattan. That's coming up here on Cody and Gold.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
Sometimes you're just trying to figure out we said we got through training camp, but you are looking for these new avenues, new careers, and a career in IT can be had in as little as 4 months.
At Centric, you don't learn from just long lectures or writing essays, Professor Tap over there. None of that boring stuff.
I don't do
Nothing
long
like
lectures.
that. They're going to measure your progress through the skills you acquire. They teach different and increasingly advanced technologies. And as you've mentioned, Cody, a few times, in as little as 4 months, you could find that new job.
And that's important, that new technology part. That stuff does really matter because you want to evolve with the industries that are evolving. With AI constantly changing, Centric is ready to handle those things. And with getting trained in 4 months, you can be in that new career. Talk to our guy, Russ, and find out more at Centric.com.
Your home is more than just another listing. It's your life's work. Dawn and the Sharp Homes team treat every property as their own, employing innovative marketing strategies and providing personal attention that transforms for sale signs into sold celebrations. The Sharp Homes team can also give you options. Do you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold? Then contact the only agent I would trust to sell my home. Dawn Sharp and the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Google Sharp Homes team. That's Sharp Homes team today. Fall's the best time of year to clean up the outside of your home or business. And the best way to do that is with a fresh coat of paint from my friends at CertaPro Painters. You want your home or business to make a great impression, and that starts with the exterior. And when you choose CertaPro Painters, you're choosing the best in the business for your job. CertaPro Painters go the extra mile. If there's a way to save you money, they'll let you know. And they take care of every detail from start to cleanup. So do what we did and schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated.
FanDuel is getting you ready for kickoff with an offer you will not want to miss. New customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet $5, and if it wins, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use all across the app. You can build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style, FanDuel has you covered. The NFL season is finally here. The only question is, are you ready to play? Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download the FanDuel app today and get started. FanDuel is the official sports betting partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Kansas. First, online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets, which expires 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit ksgamblinghelp.com.
If Old Spice Deep Sea Super Hydration Body Wash were music, what would it sound like? Start with the deep sounds of Old Spice's ocean waves and kelp. Layer on the smooth, renewing moisture. You wouldn't hear any parabens or phthalates because Old Spice Deep Sea hasn't got any. But you would hear that vitamin B3 for healthier looking skin. So while your regular body wash sounds like this, Old Spice sounds like this. Sounds like it smells amazing.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers, pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The technicians you can trust with your house keys. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric.
Getting the job done right the first time protects your home, time, and budget. This summer, get $500 off a water softener and filtration combo. Schedule at AnthonyPHCE.com.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios.
I've never felt more like in an 80s or 90s sitcom.
Should I know what this is from, or is this just a random beat you wanted to switch things up? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. You know what? It's different energy.
It feels like an 80s sitcom.
Yeah.
Starring Bill Summers.
I'm dead serious.
It's a Full House knockoff.
I'm dead serious. On YouTube, this is titled Friday Night Pizza Party, and it's got the DeLorean.
TGIF. Boy Meets World coming up at 8 o'clock.
It's got the DeLorean.
TGIF.
It's got the DeLorean from Back to the Future in front of a Pizza Hut.
Nailed it.
Oh
man,
you know what?
We're drinking ice cold soda out of that red plastic Pizza Hut cup.
Yep.
Stained glass Pizza Hut lamp on the table.
I heard this and I was like, I have to come back with this because they're going to be wondering, what is this?
That like frosted salad bowl, you know what I mean?
You know what? Of all the nostalgic Pizza Hut stuff, the one thing that always sticks out to me is the Pizza Hut commercial before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VHS. I play right field. It's important. You know. Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I do not.
You gotta learn how to catch.
I don't.
You gotta learn how to throw. Because then after that, they go to Pizza Hut, you know? The kid makes a miraculous catch.
I'm sure there's somebody
it's
listening.
It's so specific.
Yeah.
I understand how weirdly specific of a reference I'm making. But
I'd have to see
it was very specifically on front of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original movie VHS. So there you go.
Well, no, change of pace. You know what? I like.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit.
Can't change of pace. It's fresh off a weekend. I still noticed it was a little light on the traffic out there driving in. So I know there's some people that are maybe still not back today, but full go here on Cody and Gold. All right, let's talk about what I think are the few legit Lombardi contenders in the NFL. And then we'll get to college football. K-State with their close call against North Dakota over the weekend in Manhattan. And obviously some concern right now about where they are at the remainder of the 2025 season. But anybody goes through, I think, a list at this point in time and tries to figure out whether it's for betting or just, hey, they like to predict who's going to make it to the NFC title games and all that. We're doing our divisional previews and everything. But I came up with 4 teams, and I think there's only 4.
Okay.
That can win a Super Bowl this year.
That's a limited
maybe
list.
you think it should be a longer list. Maybe you disagree with the teams. let me know. Here were the 4 I came up with. These are that I would put my money on. It's very easy to say, oh, I think this team is the 5th team. No, but would you put $100 and waste $100 on that team? How confident are you that they would actually get to a Super Bowl and win? So that's what I'm basing off of. Not like, oh, I think the Lions are really good. No, like, would you put money on them to win the Super Bowl or not? So that's how I determined it. And I came up with the Chiefs. I would put money on them.
Okay.
The Bills, I would put money on them. The Eagles and the Packers, and that's it. Those
Packers,
are the only.
would they have been on your list before Micah? Or you had a
he's a game changer.
list?
He's a game changer. And we're going to preview the NFC North later on in the show. That might give you a little insight on who I'm picking to win the NFC North, obviously, now. But those are the only 4 teams that I would put money on. Does it mean that the Lions aren't going to be good? No. The Lions are going to win a lot of football games, I think, this year. But I would not put my money on them to do so. Do you disagree with that? Would you add somebody, remove somebody? Where would you guys put your list? Also, the text line, 913-586-7965.
I can assure you that, without question, the Packers would not have been on my list pre-Micah Parsons. I'm trying to decide because, I'm still not in love with Jordan Love. Their best offensive weapon might be Matthew Golden, who's a rookie.
Yep.
And so,
Josh Jacobs, pretty good.
Is that a team I take seriously as a Super Bowl contender if I think they got a bunch of dudes, bunch of Jags at wide receiver, except for one rookie who might be the goods? Ravens, Bills, Chiefs. I don't even, I would consider
So you would add the Ravens.
I would add the Ravens. Lamar Jackson has had 2 absolutely insane years back-to-back. I understand the issues they've had getting to the Super Bowl, but I would have the Ravens. Those 3 for sure for me.
Okay.
I think I'd have to take the Packers on that list now as a team that I would at least take significantly more seriously. And then it's
you don't have the Eagles?
No, I'd have the Eagles.
Okay.
Sorry, in the NFC.
So the only difference so far is you have the Ravens and I don't.
The only other team that I would strongly consider is the Bucks. I actually do think the Tampa Bay, if you made me bet money, I do think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, if things align for them offensively, I do think that there is a Super Bowl caliber roster in Tampa Bay, and Baker's playing at his best. The only team I'm surprised you didn't include, that would be the end of my list.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I'm surprised you didn't include is the Commanders. And I
can't do it.
Just knowing they made the NFC title game last year, the Lions knowing how far they've made it the last couple of years, but I know the Ben Johnson thing, the unknowns, all the other stuff. The Commanders is one that surprised me a little bit.
I couldn't get there. The one that it's funny you brought up the Bucks. That was the team I was closest to actually adding in.
Even more than the Ravens?
The Ravens, I understand Josh Allen obviously is 0-4 against Mahomes. And so you'll say, how can I knock Lamar Jackson for lack of postseason success? I just think the Bills are a better team in general. And I struggle to see Baltimore. I think at some point, the Derrick Henry use is going to catch up to him. I know we think he's like the outlier, and he has been. I'm not as convinced that Derrick Henry is going to be as effective this year either. I think that division is going to beat them up, whereas the Bills, to me, are going to have like a cakewalk all year in the AFC East towards the number 1 seed, whereas the Ravens, if they end up as the division winner, they're going to be beat up. They're going to get beat up. And with that division, with obviously Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, and most importantly in that division. As far as the Commanders, you know where I'm at. I think there's a slight regression from Jaden Daniels. I think he's that guy, but I think there's slight regression. Much tougher schedule this year. They also, a year ago, signed a bunch of vets to 1-year deals, and so there's a lot of guys on that roster that were kind of just guns for hire, if you will. And so I'm a little concerned with that, and I'm still not 100% sold that what we saw in some of those moments last year, that as much as we talk about close 1-score games going in favor of the Chiefs, the Commanders also had some unbelievable final drives.
Games they shouldn't have won.
So I think the Commanders are like a 10 or 11 win football team. That doesn't mean that you can't get to Super Bowl, but I'm not putting them in that category this year.
And you wouldn't bet on them based on that.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
What about
Drew,
you?
is there anybody we're missing?
So I think the Lions. I think the Lions are a team that I would be willing to still put some money on. I know they got the coordinator change and stuff. The rosters is solid. You get Aiden Hutchinson back. The offense is still essentially the exact same outside of whichever offensive lineman retired. Was it
Ragnow?
Yeah. Weirdly, I'm more worried about them losing their defensive coordinator than their offensive coordinator. I'm far more concerned about the absence of Aaron Glenn because I've seen defenses fall off a planet.
Yeah, right. So I looked up Kelvin Shepard is the new DC. He was the linebacker coach there for 3 years. So I think that them not going outside of the building, I think actually helps compensate the loss with Aaron Glenn because the players are familiar with him, and he's been in that role for the last few seasons. Maybe the Lions, and I think the Ravens I would just add to Gold's list. Other than that, I don't think anybody else I would.
I totally get the argument. If somebody wants to add the Ravens in, I totally get it. They were very close. I didn't want to, for me, it's like, I'm talking about, let's say, putting $100 on every team. So, like, I didn't want to have 6 or 7 on this because I think deep down, truly, there's only really 4. Now, maybe you want to take out, like text line, someone says, I would take out the Packers. I'd add in the Ravens. Totally get it. Someone else says, you left out the Rams considering they were the only team to challenge Philly. My issue, I told you, the Rams 3 months ago, they were one of my favorite bets to win the Super Bowl. I don't trust the Stafford thing. I know they just said he's going to play week 1, and so he'll be good week 1. But is Matthew Stafford making it through the entire season? That's where I'm skeptical. Otherwise, I love their defense. I still think Puka's going to be very good for them. Doesn't hurt to have Devontae Adams now to throw to as well. I just worry that Stafford either is not going to be as effective, and we're going to be like, wow, he's just not right, or it's going to be week 6, and all of a sudden he re-aggravates the disc injury that he has, and it's going to be a problem.
Counting on them to stay healthy for the entire year. Stafford and Puka and the unit, it's tough.
So if you were to take a flyer, you would say
Mine would be the
Bucks.
Like if you're just saying, hey, $100 on all, and if you cash just one of these, you might break even. I don't know. I'd have to do the math on it, but let's say I bet on 5-6 Super Bowl teams, and if I bet $100 on all of them, I got to have the 4. Like the Chiefs are even 4 or 5 to 1. Mm-hmm. So right?
No, that's what's great. At some books, you can get them 8 to 1 still.
Geez. So in all the bets I can cash, essentially, at worst, I break even, right? If I go into that. Now, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just make 6 long-term bets to do it. But Gold's just saying, like, of the teams, if you had to bet on them all, and it's not a losing proposition, because these are the only teams, the Bucs are the one I wouldn't want to miss on, right? The Bucs are the one that I wouldn't want to leave off my list. They might have the best offensive roster in the NFL by the time the season ends. And just as long as Tristan Wirfs is only out for the month to 6 weeks and Godwin is only out
I think he's going to be back a lot quicker.
Sure.
He's not going to be out nearly as long.
So just as long as Wirfs and Godwin are back in a reasonable amount of time, that might be the best offensive roster in the NFL.
And Gold, you would say the Rams then, or would you not? Or like if you were to take a flyer.
I'm out on the Rams now.
If you were just going to take a flyer outside the 4.
Yeah. If you were going to take
a flyer outside.
Probably the Bucs, I mean, based on what he said.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I have a ticket for Baker to win MVP, so I guess that would be a scenario that would put him in. Yeah, that would be it. Text line, someone else saying Philly, Lions, Rams, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. So they just, again, they just add in the Rams. They don't like the Packers pick of mine in there as well. Someone says, as delusional as Drew can be, I'm surprised they didn't add in the Bengals. We're growing. It's a new season. It's week 1.
Yes, I do. We're going to get to our Super Bowl picks. I do not have them winning the Super Bowl. Yeah. I mean, if I were to take a flyer, if it weren't the Bucs, if it were an AFC team, it would be the Bengals. Like I'm not betting I wouldn't bet the Houston Texans. I'm not doing the Jaguars. I'm not doing the Broncos. Yeah. Like any of those teams, I'm not in terms of flyers.
If you just made me take a chance on any other AFC team, despite their severe defensive issues,
it's definitely them.
Yeah, just because Burrow's been to one, and I'll take the better quarterback if I'm just taking flyers. Like if I'm just taking shots,
100%.
Why not? Yeah. You know. But it's also just I don't think they got the roster in order to make it.
What are the Lions' odds? I guess
for NFC champ or for Super Bowl, because that's the combo.
For Super Bowl, I guess like where are they compared to the Bucs? I guess in terms of flyers or
Super Bowl odds right now. This is just off of FanDuel. I get everybody's.
Because I wonder if the Lions would.
FanDuel has so the Ravens are the favorites at FanDuel right now. So it's funny. I don't have the Ravens in the mix, but they are. I wouldn't bet on them, but they are the favorite. Okay.
What's the reason to bet on them?
The Bills and Eagles have the same odds, 7.5 to 1. The Chiefs are 8 to 1. So the Chiefs have the 4th best odds to win the Super Bowl. The Lions are 12 to 1. The Packers are 13 to 1.
Oh wow.
Okay. The Commanders are 20 to 1. The Bucs are 27 to 1.
Okay, so not even close in the same bracket.
I say the Rams 20 to 1. Yeah,
I think the Bucs are sneaky there.
Bengals and Rams have the Bengals, Commanders, and Rams have the same odds to win the Super Bowl. We'll talk more about this obviously throughout the next couple of days heading into the start of the season. Thursday, the opener with the Cowboys and Eagles. Here in about 15 minutes, Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN, will join us. We'll talk about the Brazil game. We'll also ask him the same question. If he could put teams that he would willingly put money on to win the Super Bowl, is it 4 teams? Is it 5 teams? Who are those teams? That's coming up in just a bit. But I want to talk college football. Over the weekend, look, KU and MU did what they needed to do and
Against bad opponents, they
handled
beat
their
up on them.
business. Yeah, Kansas looked good again. Missouri looked very good. It looks like that quarterback situation solved itself, unfortunately, for Sam Horn. He got hurt, too, so it was probably already going to be
It was already
Prebula,
done anyway.
But yeah, so Prebula, sorry. So K-State, though, that's where the conversation lies. And what are we seeing out of them? And what do we buy into long-term issues? Is it just, hey, you know what? It's an Ireland hangover. That's what that was.
Iowa State didn't have any problem with their
They did not.
sad
And
opponent coming back from Ireland.
And that's the thing. K-State had a very close call. They should have lost the game, frankly.
Yes.
But, hey, wins are wins. But you win, you get out there, survive and advance against North Dakota. This is not North Dakota State. It's North Dakota. I know Bink mentioned that yesterday. He was making sure we all knew.
Not as good as North Dakota State.
That North
no.
Dakota is not as good as North Dakota State. And that is true.
Which makes it, I think, stand out even more.
I think the troubling thing is the defense. I still am not worried about Avery Johnson. I told you guys that after the Iowa State game. I still do not think he is going to have a bad year. I still think Avery Johnson will be their biggest asset and all of that. The Dylan Edwards injury is definitely hurting them right now.
And he's probably not going to be back for Army.
Can they stop any? Can they get a stop against North Dakota? Those were not just, flea flicker trick plays that North Dakota was running, and you're like, oh, man, they just had every trick up their sleeve. No. They were sustained drives that were really impressive against a defense that looks like it has some holes all over.
I was watching TCU's quarterback last night. I'm like, ugh. If I were K-State, I wouldn't be looking forward to my defense figuring out how that looks. That's easily their biggest concern. I'll be honest. The Iowa State loss was not enough for me to I had originally predicted them to win the Big 12. I don't think they're doing that now.
Their odds have fallen way off.
Well, yeah. I mean, how can I think that they're a Big 12 winner now? Unless they solve some things and in a hurry. Their defense looks horrible. Avery Johnson looks good. He looks like a perfectly good Big 12 quarterback with some upper end potential to be a lot better than good. But if they're going to win a lot of football games this year, then I have to worry about the fact that they're going to have to outscore everybody. So Avery Johnson can't just be good. He's going to have to be great to win them some of these games in the Big 12 if this is what they're going to look like. The hangover thing feels like a big cop-out, knowing that Iowa State whipped up on their sad opponent for the exact
who ironically is ranked in the top 5 in FCS.
Sure, but I don't even trust, in fairness, I don't even trust the division. I don't trust the D1 rankings. FCS rankings, I feel like they must know even less about how good those teams are. Turns out maybe North Dakota's a little better, maybe that team's a little worse, but they both stink. They're both below
Compared to them,
level.
yes,
100%. They're both way below your level of play. Iowa State came straight back from Ireland, had no problem. Now, they were riding high of a win and all the other stuff. I would give K-State one more game to look like a competent defense. If Army gets to them defensively, well, then they are going to be a bad defense this year. And they're going to have to figure out how to get Avery Johnson to level 1,000 here in a hurry.
And ironically enough, Cody, Army just lost to Tarleton State, who is an FCS opponent as well. Yeah. So the fact that Army lost to them, I think the next 3 are Army, Arizona, and UCF. If K-State drop any of those, their chances are 0
to win the Big 12. Yeah,
0.
Updated,
they can figure it out maybe, but they need, as you guys said, a lot to turn around here.
Updated odds to win the Big 12 now. K-State 20-1. The favorite right now is Utah.
They opened 6-1, I think. K-State
they fell well. Well, then in fairness, they fell big time off with the Iowa State loss.
Right.
But still, they just haven't looked good. Utah's the favorite, and then TCU after their performance last night, all of a sudden, maybe they have a running game. Utah, TCU at the top, and then Texas Tech 6-1. Arizona State looked good 6-1. Iowa State 7.5-1. Baylor 8-1, and Kansas at 12-1 before the drop off with K-State, BYU. 22-1 to win the Big 12. It's still early for K-State. I told you, I don't think it should be oh my gosh,
college
we know.
Football, though, it's only 10, 11, 12 games. You don't get that much time.
They got to figure it out.
But they have to defensively improve with Army. They got Army, Arizona, and UCF and Baylor. Drew, you mentioned the stretch. I mean, they just have to look far better on defense to give you some hope that they can, accomplish what they were set out to do. I mean, the back end of the schedule has Kansas, Texas Tech, Utah. We'll find out what Oklahoma State and Colorado are as the season goes on. Colorado lost on Thursday night. They did not look good.
Would you be willing to bet those the 12-1 odds for KU Gold?
Not yet. Beat MU and he might.
Yeah, I mean, I need to see them against. They've played
if
Fresno
they beat MU,
State
those odds
and
won't be 12-1
Wagner.
anymore, though.
Fair, but they're also not going to be like 3-1 or something.
okay,
you know what I mean?
right.
Look, I guess if they were,
They'd be like 8-1 or 9-1.
I'll wait. I want to see what they do against SEC competition because it's been Wagner and Fresno State.
Yes.
Fresno State's a legit program. Wagner, though, they did exactly what you're supposed to do. I've been impressed, with Kansas, obviously. In
Jalen Daniels, man, looks really good.
He does. But it's border war week, man. Saturday.
That line's still around 6.5.
It is. Some books have it all the way up at 7.5. So depending on what side you're wanting to take, you can shop around.
KU on the points.
That's where I'm leaning 7.5 plus 7.5 Kansas. One book, I think it was FanDuel actually, that had it all the way up to 7.5, which is interesting. We'll talk more about KUMU as the week goes on and everything. I'm excited for Saturday, man.
To go back to K-State real quick, I wonder what would it take for Chris Kleiman to be on any he's
won
to me
double-digit games each of the last 2 years.
He's not getting fired after this year. I don't think he gets fired regardless of how they do.
No,
if they go 6-6 and they lose a bowl, if they have another losing record, is that his seat is warm going into next year's situation?
It would have to be 2 consecutive years of that because you can't. At Kansas State, he won back-to-back. He
won a Big 12 title
and again,
3 years ago.
And again,
his
a
job's
little off
not
of
in
where they
jeopardy.
should be.
I agree.
No, that's crazy. That'd be crazy. They would have to lose 7 in a row or something crazy and finish with 3 wins to even have a conveation next. That still wouldn't get him fired
for this year. No, you're right.
There's nothing he can. Barring the legal problems, there's nothing that could happen. Chris Kleiman's done a
great job,
an unbelievable job there in Manhattan, but they don't look good right now. That's just the reality. 2 games into the 2025 season, and we'll keep an eye on where they got, as we said, Army coming up, and Big 12 race will be interesting. But this week locally, it's all obviously about the Chiefs, and it's obviously about KU and MU in Columbia. We'll discuss it here next segment, but I wish that game wasn't in Columbia. I wish it was at Arrowhead this Saturday because that would be special. That'd be real special.
How'd you guys feel about the Guillotine League last night?
Yeah, we had our draft, our unofficial. Yeah, excuse me. Unofficial Cody and Gold Guillotine draft last night. We had some side issues to begin.
We had somebody try to pay a person named Cody Gold.
Yeah, the Venmo was Cody-Tap, and they made a mistake. They know the show's Cody and Gold. They tried to pay Cody-Gold. So somebody has an account named Cody-Gold. I don't know
who's that person.
I want to know who that. I want to know who that is.
The show funds
I want to
Venmo.
know who Cody-Gold is on Venmo. But
randomly
anyway. But it's unofficial. We don't take funds on this show. It's unofficial.
No, we would never.
It's an unofficial thing. It was not related to the show. It was just on my personal and your personal Twitter accounts.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't tell you. We told you maybe.
I don't know. I feel decent about the team. It's Guillotine. You just got to survive a couple weeks.
I can always improve my roster.
I can tell you, whoever our listener, Feed the Read, whoever our listener is, they are projected to get chopped in week 1. But projections can be way off in week 1, as we've learned. But the team's all right. I mean. I got Justin Jefferson was there at pick 4. I was thrilled.
That was great.
Yeah.
I felt good about getting Amon-Ra St. Brown where I got
That was solid. Drew, you were nervous because you picked 15th out of 18.
I started up with Brian Thomas Jr.
And, of course, he got his guy, Joe Burrow. So that
otherwise,
made his
I would have ended
draft.
up with Kyler Murray as my quarterback.
No.
I'll pass on that, or Bo Nix. That's what it would have ended up as.
When the guy that has Josh Allen gets chopped in the first 2 weeks, I can go put a bid in on him instead of having to ride Tua. Because Tua is my quarterback right now.
They also play the Ravens in week 1. So,
it might backfire in a huge way. But truthfully, my entire lineup decisions were based on who are the most boring players in the NFL from a will get targets, will get yards, might actually get a touchdown for a few weeks.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is number 1 on that list.
Young players, other than Jaden Daniels. I took Khalil Shakir and Amon-Ra
I was
and
surprised
Kelsey.
you took Daniels there. I really
You know
was.
what it is? It's the same thing. I've run into the problem Drew is discussing. The one time I was chopped early is when I took a quarterback in like round 13 because I just want some points in week 1. I'm not trying to get shut out at quarterback. Now, I will say the Giants matchup concerns me a little bit for week 1. So we'll see beyond that. But I'm just trying to take able bodies,
Yeah, it'll be fun, man.
Able bodies.
The thing with Guillotine that's fun, we always say it. You do the draft. Someone will be eliminated by this time next week. Someone's already done, and their roster's already available.
I'm projected like 6th worst.
That was you and me. Was that week 1 or week 2 where you and I were fighting for the?
One of you got chopped week 1.
That was me. That was me and you. A couple of years back.
That was me that got chopped first because I know you you got me by like half a point or something crazy like that.
And then I was fine. That's what's so weird about it. It's like the 1 week gets you, and then I was fine for like another 6-7 weeks. It wasn't even like a sweat.
I swear, I was trying to figure this out last night. I'm not asking this because I think I might be the answer. I legit did I win last year or the year before? Who won last year?
Last year. The year before I did.
Yeah, you won last year.
2 years ago, I won last year.
I was legitimately, I'm not even kidding. I was like, I know I won recently. I couldn't remember if it was last year or the year before.
A listener has not won this league, and now it's been 3
that's
years.
what it is.
Since a listener won this league. I've never won it.
I need to get my wings. I forgot about that.
Oh, man, still time.
Cody, real quick before we go to break.
Okay.
Mac and JT have challenged you to the hot dog derby race the next time that we do it as a station.
Okay.
Do you think you can get
They came up yesterday on the show. Mac and JT want to run against you.
I mean, I'll try. Mac's going to have some issues in seating.
The height is a problem for you, Mac. It really is. For the hot dog
It's a disadvantage.
Derby. Yeah, it's tough. I think the minimum height is 5'9" to 6'3". So he's there, but
he's on the lower end.
He's on the lower end of it. Anyway, up next, Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN, joins us ahead of Chiefs Chargers in Brazil.
Cody and Gold, brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com. Follow the station on Instagram for ticket giveaways and behind-the-scenes content from the show at The Fan 965.
Football is back, and Underdog is the best place to select entries and win money all season long. You can be playing while watching football this Thursday and Friday on your couch on the Missouri side. You just choose whether your favorite players will go higher or lower than stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, interceptions, and more. I happen to think Travis Kelce will go higher than his receiving yardage total in this game coming up on Friday. And get those entries right, and you can win up to 1,000 times your cash and play with as little as $1. So like I said, you download the app. You can mix and match between sports. So maybe you're just like thinking, you know what, I want a little baseball, football. I want a little something on Thursday and Friday. A couple of different teams, higher or lower than those stats. And then you can make those decisions over at Underdog. And again, from the Missouri side, this week, right now, games tonight. If you were thinking about doing something on the baseball end tonight for Vinny or Bobby or some of those other guys, download the app today. Use promo code TAPP. TAPP to score $50 in bonus funds when you play your first $5. That's promo code TAPP, TAPP. Must be 18 plus and present in Missouri. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms. _DFS_.html for details. Concerned with your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit www.ncbgambling.org.
At KCUC, you see the best in KC. With more than 50 expert providers and 20 convenient locations, you get the care you need quickly and close to home. From advanced diagnostics to the latest treatments, KCUC offers cutting-edge technology that sets us apart. It's no wonder we're the region's premier urology and oncology center. You deserve the best. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Kids are back in school, so schedule your project today. With Powell Exteriors KC Easy Financing, pay no interest until 2027. Whether a deck or new roof, go to PowellExteriorsKC.com now to schedule your free estimate. It's the power of KC. Powell Exteriors KC, Kansas City's exteriors experts.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
The season starts at Rally House. From jerseys and hats to tumblers for game day, it's where outrageous selection meets every fan's style.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, Rally House. It's your city, it's your house, it's the Rally House.
Level up your fandom in-store or online at rallyhouse.com.
Dane and Hughes here. I've seen a lot of stat lines in my playing days, but these numbers, they caught my attention. Flight by Yingling. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, and all the crisp, refreshing flavor you want in a light beer. It's brewed by the oldest brewery in America, so you know it's got some serious history behind it. If you're into stats and taste, you're going to love this beer. Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer and the official beer of Dane and Hughes. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have over 20 years of experience servicing the KC Metro. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, as well as commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4500. 4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow Service. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, is heading to Missouri. The wait will soon be over. On December 1st, you'll finally be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's tons of ways for you to get in on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line, over-unders, to which team you think is going to cut down the nets or win the championship. Build parlays, bet player props, ride the live lines. Whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even bet on who you think will score the next touchdown in the game that you're watching and the one after that. So mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to the good side, Missouri, on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. The other place, Shawnee, Olathe, downtown Overland Park, Mission, and Belton. Come hang out on the patio and listen to some great live music at most locations Thursday through Saturdays. Enjoy some great food and also some incredible beer specials. Make The Other Place your summer headquarters. The Other Place and theotherplace.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply. Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh yeah, the key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Listen to the Chiefs and Chargers on Friday night with pregame starting at 4. Kickoff at 7 with Mitch, Danon, and Kling. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey Sports Station.
11 o'clock hour here on the show. We're just going to stick with this theme today. I like it, Drew. I like it. Coming up in about 20 minutes, we'll get to the trash of the day. I also just saw nobody won the Powerball last night, Cody. Nobody won. It's now Wednesday, $1.3 billion.
See, if Nate Taylor wants in on our deal as a show, which is always
$1.3 billion.
$1 million to the other two members of the show, has been the consistent agreement on this show.
I was way too excited when I'm not kidding. I checked the ticket this morning and I had 3 of the white balls, which gets you $7.
Ooh.
But I had 3, and I was like, that's pretty darn good. That never happens. I had 3 of them. You need 5.
Pays for Wednesday's tickets.
It does. You need 5 to get $1 million, and you obviously need all of them to get the jackpot. But 3 numbers only get you $7. Anyway, let's talk some football with Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN. But yeah, if you want in on the deal, Nate, the deal is that you have to buy a ticket as well. You can't just, Cody and I can't just make a deal and not have all of us buy a ticket. But basically, the agreement is if you win, you give me $1 million and Cody $1 million. If I win, I give each of you $1 million. That we're all in this together.
Sure. Hello, gentlemen. This sounds like back when I was a young lad, and my mother, God bless her, Tanya Taylor would tell me all about the Powerball and all about this and all about that, and I'd say, "Sure, Mom, sure. We're still waiting, guys. We're still waiting."
$1.3 billion, Nate.
Look, I mean, given our economy, someone's got to win that, right?
Yeah,
Come on,
I thought
guys.
that last night. Last night. The cash value is $589 million. And then after taxes, you're taking home, what, $340 million or something?
I guess I'll make that work.
Is that enough for you?
Right. Now, the thing that I've always worried about, and I've read articles not recently, is just like when you win the lottery, when you get that ticket, like the amount of publicity and notoriety that comes with you, It sounds great for about 2 days. Then you got a long list of things to do financially. So
you know what, Nate? I'm willing to take on that burden. I'll let you know how it turns out. I'll let you know how it turns out, though.
Everybody says that until it starts happening. But okay, sure.
Hey, I'm in Kansas. I don't have to publicly claim it. You're in Missouri, though, right? Or are you on the Kansas side?
I'm on the Kansas side.
So you're good. Cody's the one that publicly everybody will know. Cody Bancroft Tap wins.
Honestly, I got a few million for someone who will just claim it but have all the legal paperwork so it's their name on the paper.
Right.
My ass will disappear.
That's when you got to say, guys, it's in the estate. I don't even know where to even find that. Okay, like I just, it's all earmarked. I have no idea where to go.
You win this, you'll be flying first class at all these international trips to Brazil, to the Madrid, maybe in a year or so, to watch the Chiefs wherever they play in the world. Maybe the moon eventually.
Look. I've said this before, and I will say it again, guys. Especially if this trip goes successful, right? From a logistical standpoint, from a broadcast standpoint, with YouTube getting its first real shot to broadcast the NFL game across the world for free, and let's say the Chiefs win, which is the expectation. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go international every year. just start marking calendars. Austria, back to Munich. Let's go back to Mexico City. I don't think Australia's in the mix for the Chiefs as of yet, but obviously London is. Like, it is fascinating to talk to people high in the organization who are just like, this has become the norm. Obviously, part of the documentary series produced by yours truly, ESPN, has Mark Donovan saying, hey, we want to be the world's team. So you kind of got to go see the world if you actually want to do that. And they obviously have the team and the notoriety to do it. So, yeah, man. Tell me where I gotta go. Tell me what e-visa I gotta go get. Tell me. Now I will, toot my own horn a little bit here, guys. It was at the owners' meetings in March where I reported back then with the Athletic that this was going to happen. That this was going to be a streaming provider. That this was going to be week one. That this was going to be against the Chargers, and that this was going to be Brazil. So. Hey, if I keep reporting those things in March, I'll be smitten every year this freaking thing happens.
When you look at the team on the field itself, obviously they won 15 games last year, but the injuries kind of happened early, and then people knew what's the internal optimism? And the people you speak to, what is the internal optimism that this offense will look like a Chiefs Patrick Mahomes offense versus what we've seen the last 2 years, which honestly, by their standards, is far below it.
Right. Now, think about this, guys. All we know about is Rashee Rice being suspended. We know Jalen Royals is likely not to play because he has not practiced this week. And again, he's a rookie. And that's really it, guys. They're as healthy as they were at any point last season, right? I want to remind people that there was no Hollywood Brown in week one. He will be available Friday night. So you're basically swapping him and Rashee Rice. But outside of that, you have a healthy Isaiah Pacheco. You have Kareem Hunt, who wasn't even on the roster this time last season. It really does come down to, and I think this is why the Chiefs have not been so, bullish. They haven't been very boastful. It really comes down to, man, if we could just protect 15, especially on the blind side with Kingsley Suamataia having his second career start at left guard, and rookie Josh Simmons having his first career start in a foreign land on primetime, big spotlight game. Here comes Khalil Mack. If they can do well, then this offense will score 30 points. We got a glimpse of it in the preseason finale against the Bears. But the reason why the Chiefs are not as voyous, not as verbal about this game is because they do understand who's protecting the blind side of Patrick. And again, that comes with, some unknowns just because they haven't had to do it yet together as a two young guy tandem.
This is probably procedural, but I saw that at least Moore was running with first team right tackle for a little bit. Is there any concern over Jawan Taylor's knee, the draining, the travel, all the stuff that comes with the extra time on a flight?
Yeah, great point, because he's going to be one of the first people I try to get my eyes on Thursday morning, ladies and gentlemen, from Sao Paulo. Again, if the logistics work, if traffic isn't an absolute nightmare. But yeah, we asked Jawan last week about it and just said, hey, I might have to get my knee drained, which was similar to last year just because of all the things you just said, Cody. We're going so far away. This is so out of everybody's comfort zone, not just in the regular season, but to actually start the regular season this way. I think that's where it gets really tricky. Now, I've talked to, some former offensive linemen who say, hey, if the field's not great, that's actually to the offensive lineman's benefit because the defensive lineman won't have the necessary traction and the get-off that they would usually have under, normal NFL playing surfaces. So when it comes to Jawaan Taylor, he wants to play. He is their starting right tackle, but they're going to have to manage it. And, at least for the Chiefs' sake, thank goodness you have Jalen Moore as a glorified, overqualified, 6 offensive lineman. But I think Jawaan will do everything in his power, even if it means he's got to drain that knee again that he has tried not to have since the offseason began, really since he had, his procedures, I believe, in March and June. He has not had to have that yet, but the Chiefs have been smart to manage it. So we'll see. But I fully expect him to be out there in uniform in Friday's game.
We're talking to Nate Taylor from ESPN here on Cody and Gold. You also reported in the last 24, 48 hours or so that anybody thinking there was going to be a last-minute contract extension announcement for Trent McDuffie, well, that's not happening before the start of this season.
Yeah, which I think is unfortunate because it was one of my things that I had on the to-do list for the team. I'm not trying to compare these things, but it is educational to know what happened with Micah Parsons. Now, I'm not saying Trent McDuffie is Micah Parsons, the player, the person. These are two different people. But the reason why the Micah Parsons thing got so out of hand is because you had plenty of chances to sign him. And this offseason, essentially from the moment they signed Trey Smith after the franchise tag deadline period on July 15th, that was really your first opportunity to sign Trent McDuffie long-term to ensure that he will play pretty much every season in his 20s with you. They've done that with Trey Smith. They've done that with George Karlaftis. Trent McDuffie was next in line. They did secure his 5th-year option. So I want to make that very clear. It was in the story as well on ESPN.com. The Chiefs do still have club control this year and next year. And if they want to get, diabolical, I guess they could franchise tag him for the 2027 season. Now, you don't want that to happen, but that's a possibility. So I think most smart front offices understand, given where the salary cap is going, which, let me tell you, kids, if this thing goes well on YouTube on Friday night, if there's no glitches, similar to what happened with Netflix on Christmas Day, the salary cap is going to go up because these games, these standalone games are only going to go further up in terms of bidding. Commercials are going to go up. Obviously, there's going to be a bigger salary cap, which means, hey, the percentage that player is on the salary cap will theoretically go down as the cap continues to balloon in this modern, new age streaming era. So for all intents and purposes, I think it was behooves of the Chiefs to really try for the last 6 weeks. It has not gone, well. I think both parties, I should say, understand that, hey, next offseason is really where it's going to start to get interesting because, hey, we still have the 5th-year option, but we would like to acquire and control your services beyond that. Trent McDuffie has been on the record that says, hey, he loves the Chiefs. He loves being a Chief. He is Brett Veach's highest draft pick ever, ladies and gentlemen. So it is imperative that they sign him to a long-term deal because he is their second-best defender. He's so good. And if Vlad McConkey does nothing on Friday, it will largely be because of Steve Spagnuolo's scheme and Trent McDuffie executing it, whether from the slot or from the perimeter.
Nate, I know we've talked a lot about the offense on this. I feel like the defensive game plan is hope guys just get better. I know that sounds kind of weird, but on the defensive line, it's largely the same group. I know Gelati and Norman Lott got added in the draft, but with rookies and Spags and that stuff usually taking some time, unless one of those guys is going to burst onto the scene early, a lot of the same defensive backs, a lot of the same safeties, a lot of the same defensive linemen, especially for a team that didn't get a ton of pass rush. Why should I believe that they'll be a lot better in the pass rush department, other than they were 2 years ago, certainly, but is this just an ebb and flow thing that they're banking on?
Well, I'll try to give you the optimistic version first, fellas. Hey, Mike Dana wasn't healthy for much of last season. Charles Omenihu, as we knew, was coming off the ACL. The year before that, he was, serving a suspension, kind of like Rasheed Rice is now. So those are two big question marks that could go in your favor. Hey, Mike Dana is a better player. more of what he showed 2 years ago, and you get Charles Omenihu for a full season. He's very good on the edge and on the interior on third down. Chris Jones, an incredible player, right? So if you have more support around him, hey, maybe he'll get more one-on-one opportunities, and he'll devour the quarterback more, get back to that double-digit sack number that we're accustomed to. George Karlaftis really took off in the second half of the season. Hey, we just signed you to a long-term contract. You ain't got to worry about that. Now you can just go out and ball and work off Chris Jones from a one-on-one standpoint. Let's see that motor. Let's see that relentlessness. Hey, you can have another 10-digit kind of, sack year. Hey, if you get 10 sacks, incredible year for George Karlaftis. Now the negative. Boys, all four of those things got to happen. And I'm dead serious because after I mentioned those four names, Charles Omenihu, George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, Charles Omenihu, okay, can Derek Knighty hold up for 17 games? I mean, I guess. Omar Norman Lott, really talented.
Jerry Tillery.
Take a while. Jerry Tillery, I mean, cool. They don't have Felix Ndike Uzama. They don't have Janarius Robinson. Both those guys are on IR, not coming back this season. Okay, Ashton Gelati, hey, man, try really hard for 6 weeks and come back to me. So see what happens, right? It's all four of them dudes, guys. There is no Mike Pennell. He plays for the Cincinnati Bengals. You just can't sign him off the street if things go bad in week 4. That's not happening. So, yeah, you need all four of those guys to be really great. That's the pessimistic version of it. And hey, it would be really nice if the offense got back to being a spaceship so that we're up by 7 points in the second half and we can start to tee off and Spags can start to use blitzes to be creative, whatever. I think the secondary will be fine even without Justin Reed. But, once again, Chris Jones, hey, man, be Aaron Donald again. Be an all-world destroyer and have hopefully a good trio to support you from a pass rushing standpoint with George Karlaftis, Mike Dana, and Charles Omenihu. And then hopefully, and we'll see this on Friday, hey, man, Najee Harris, he's an NFL running back. Go defend him. Go tackle him really well. Mario Hampton, hey, he's supposed to be a first-round pick, rookie, supposed to be a dynamic star. Well, welcome him to the NFL. Show him how it's not going to be like college on opening night in Sao Paulo. That's the task for the defensive line. But really, their four defensive linemen have to stay healthy, have to be productive, have to work together for this defensive line to be what it was 2 years ago, less so than it was last year.
Real quick, Nate, before we let you go, we were having the conversation. If I said you had to put $100 on any of these teams you mentioned, how many legit Lombardi contenders do you think there are where you would put your hard-earned money on them? Because you have 6. Okay, my four were Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Packers. Who are your 6?
I think you still got to include the Ravens, even though. Yeah, I know, January. I know, guys. I know. It's not all Lamar last year. Lamar was fine in the second half in Buffalo. It was freaking the most reliable guy they have, and Andrews screwing up. So, okay, I get it. You guys have Packers and Eagles, right, from the NFC?
I have the Packers and Eagles, and I have the Chiefs and Bills. Cody had, instead of the Packers, I think he added
the Bucks.
Added in the Bucks.
No, stop it. Stop it.
Stop it. We're including the Packers. Jordan Love's 20-12 every year.
I would rather go with the Lions just because, hey, they've had the now true NFL experience, right? It sucks that they don't have Aaron Glenn. They don't have Ben Johnson anymore. But largely the core still together. Hey, let's see Aiden Hutchinson come back from the injury, be a dominant force again. But they have true experience now. Jared Goff, still in the prime of his career. He's not tailing off just yet. I would love to include the Rams, but my man's shoulder about to fall off. So I can't really do that, even though they have the better coach, Sean McVay. So, hey, the Lions have true experience now. Hey, they made it to the NFC Championship in an absolute, storybook kind of season, kind of choked it away in the second half against the 49ers. Hey, it happens. You were on the road. Last year, everybody fell off on defense. And Jared Goff had his worst game of the season. And look, Jaden Daniels, very good. Obviously, one of the better rookie seasons we've ever seen. Hey, they got you, right? So now you know what it's like in 2 playoff runs to, hey, maximize what might be the last window of this great run. I would still put the Lions in the mix. The Bengals don't have a good defense. The Broncos, they have a great defense. could they be the Baltimore Ravens of yesteryear, where it's like, hey, Bo, hand the ball off and check it down, man. The defense will do everything else. Like, it's possible.
It's tough. But we now know that, like, Lamar Jackson's an MVP, you know? We know that now. We didn't know that then, but we knew that now. We know that now.
Yeah. So, again, I think the Broncos are kind of in the mix. Yes, Tampa Bay is frisky. They'll win their division. They'll have maybe 1, maybe 2 playoff games at home. So, you know, not a, you know, they're a contender. But I think there's really 6 teams who legitimately will start the season saying Super Bowl or bust. And I'm fascinated to see what in God's name the Eagles are going to do to the Cowboys on Thursday. I'm going to be on that. I'm going to be watching that from Sao Paulo, like almost looking through my eyes. Like, oh my God, Dak Prescott, get out of that game healthy, my boy, because they're going to destroy the Cowboys.
Nate Taylor, our Chiefs insider from ESPN. Safe travels to Brazil, man. Appreciate it. We'll check in next week.
Yeah, hope to be back in the studio and hope to have wonderful experiences from Sao Paulo this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely be asking you about that as well. Nate Taylor going to be in Brazil in a couple days as the Chiefs, of course, open up in Sao Paulo against the Chargers. Before we get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour, let's get to the trash of the day.
Trash of the day.
All right, this involves a online flea market, particularly in Japan, okay?
Okay.
You've heard of, you probably heard of this Mercari. You guys have probably seen the app or whatever.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Mercari.
Okay, so anyway, I guess there was a trend of people selling ultrasound photos. They are now banning the sale of ultrasound photos.
What was it a ban before?
One, I didn't know why people were selling this, and that was a thing. The reason why they're banning it is people were selling these because they were using it to ask people for money. So basically, pregnancy fraud. So let's say,
they're buying a real ultrasound photo.
Yeah, and say, hey,
someone says I'm pregnant,
and they ask for money.
And they got the photo to prove it.
They're they're in a relationship, or they weren't in a relationship, or they just and they're basically saying, hey, I'm pregnant. I need some help. I need some money. And this is a fraud thing that's happening. Ultrasound photos.
I mean, that would make it I'm assuming my general instinct would be to just think this is real anyway. But certainly if they got the ultrasound photo.
You're not going to be like, no, that's clearly not my kid's ultrasound.
I went to the doctor to get an ultrasound photo. What do you mean it's not my real kid?
Drew, if your wife came home today, now you're married, this is completely different. But
it is a little bit different.
If your wife came home, you would, obviously you have no reason, you would 100% believe, but even if it wasn't your wife, if it was just your girlfriend, she just...
You would have no reason not to believe it.
So I guess this is a scam that people are using, so now you can no longer buy
ultrasound
photos.
That's way messed up.
I can't believe you were allowed to buy them before.
Also, what are you selling it for?
Why are you selling?
Do you guys still have?
Yeah, they're just like in a baby book or whatever.
Okay, so you have the ultrasound.
Now we got a lot of them, so some of them might hit the trash.
We need some cash.
Some of them might hit the trash. Honestly,
people are selling them. You could have sold them.
Every single ultrasound photo they took of my kid ever, because you go you probably get 2 or 3 per kid over the course of time. So I mean, I guess you got extra to sell, but who's selling them?
I guess people were selling them.
Who even thought to sell them? They're like, you know what? Kids are expensive.
I can make some money off of this.
How much do you think
put that in their $5.29 or something? You better give that money to the kids,
I just want to know, how much were they going for? For $14. Here's the answer.
That's it?
People are that desperate. $14, they're selling ultrasound photos.
Gotta say, it's a pretty good scheme.
Dang.
Even if you get $500-600 out of it, $14 for the turnaround. Well, that's messed up, man. Gold, somebody comes to you and they say, I'm pregnant. They show you an ultrasound photo. You definitely think they're for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you can correlate the timing of everything, then yeah.
I'll just tell you right now, that scam's not worth the uncomfortable conversations it requires. The conversation that is like all the conversations around oh God, I'm gonna be a dad and all this. You don't know. That's not worth a few $100s. Get a less. I mean, that's an insane scam. This was regularly happening. It's messed up.
It was a thing. It was.
Where was this again?
An online marketplace. Japan is banning it, but Mercari, you can go on Mercari right now and buy anything. I guess not ultrasounds though anymore.
Jeez.
That is the trash of the day. Up next, we'll get to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. One Chief is no longer a Chief, and why people are freaking out, I don't get it. We'll tell you why next.
What's up, Kansas City? This is Bobby Witt Jr., and you're listening to Cody and Gold, weekdays starting at 10 on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
FanDuel is making Week 1 even bigger with a chance to win a share of $2 million in bonus bets every game day. That's right, $2 million. Here's how it works. You opt in, you place an anytime touchdown bet on any Week 1 NFL game, including, obviously, coming up on Thursday. Using a profit boost, and if the player you pick scores either the first or the last touchdown of the game, you'll earn a share of $2 million in bonus bets. First touchdown, you're in. Last touchdown, you're in. Both, hey, it's even better. It's just one more reason to bet on the NFL with FanDuel. So whether you got that feeling about that opening drive or you're banking on a clutch finish, now's the time to get in on the game. Visit FanDuel.com/Alex to download the app today and get started with FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook partner of 96.5 The Fan. FanDuel is an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. 21 and present in Kansas. Opt in. Must apply profit boost token on select market. Prize pool to be split equally among all eligible participants who made the correct first or last touchdown pick. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets with expired 21 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. FanDuel is offering online sports wagering in Kansas under agreement with Kansas Star Casino, LLC. Gambling problem? Getting help is your best bet. Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit kansasgamblinghelp.com.
Get your home ready for the change in seasons with a $69 HVAC tune-up from Hamilton Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Rooter. Our pros can help you lower energy costs, prevent costly breakdowns, and make sure your system is running at peak efficiency right when you need it most. And it's all backed by our exceptional service guarantee. Over 40 years experience and more than 8,000 five-star reviews are great reasons to trust Hamilton. Visit callhamilton.com for details, terms, and conditions. License number 2025-11121.
Hi there, I'm Charlie. And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC. If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help. Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting. Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team. He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days. He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises. Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision. Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
Hey, almost Andy Reid here. It's been an honor to give back to the community that's embraced me being almost your head coach. Thanks for letting me be part of your team. Renner Garage Door is a teammate of mine that also values the community that they served for decades, always giving back and delivering wins with top brands like Geldon, Amar, and Liftmaker. Need a repair or replacement? Get a free estimate today. Forward and back.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line.
But my throat has officially thrown in the towel. Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast!
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's go!
Check engine, ABS, or maintenance light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. The service is free and provides a report with solutions verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we could recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Your cold is coming. Your cold is coming. When you feel a cold coming, shorten it with Zycam, the #1 cold shortening brand.
Oh, no, not before my big trip.
The big trip you've been planning is coming up, and so is your cold. But Zycam can shorten your cold and get you back to planning sooner.
Thanks, Revere.
We really should keep Zycam in the house.
Shorten your cold with Zycam.
Take it from America's most revered messenger. Shorten your cold at the first sign with cold shortening products from Zycam, the #1 cold shortening brand. Available in stores or see where to buy at Zycam.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424. Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Arvest Bank, believing in the power of serving others.
Arvest Bank believes in the power of serving others. That's why we're committed to supporting those who serve our communities. We believe that all communities deserve a financial partner who cares. Arvest, we believe.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the Mission Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling Studios. Welcome in to the Chiefs Red Half Hour. Every day at 11:30 with Cody and Gold on your new home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Chiefs Red Half Hour brought to you by All Weather Decks, Kansas City's most respected deck builder. Check them out at allweatherdecks.net.
We'll get back into Friday night and just what that could mean for the entire season and the noise around Chiefs-Chargers in Brazil. We'll do that in just a couple of minutes. But I teased it before we went to break. Some of you on the text line were already texting in about said player. The player I was talking about, obviously, was Mike Pennell. And Mike Pennell, someone we had on the show, fan favorite, ties to the Kansas City area, has had a very nice NFL career. He's made some good money, sticking around the league as long as he has. He obviously has got a ring or two, I believe.
Been good for the Chiefs a couple different times, yeah.
Last year, the duo in the interior was one of the better duos in football, but the Chiefs tried to go younger on the defensive line, and so we all know they waived him, and he's now on the practice squad in Cincinnati. Drew, you sent us a text with exclamation points to tell us about that, so you were happy about it.
Yes.
Fans are not happy.
He just realizes he might be the best defender on the Cincinnati.
He might be the best run defender on the team already.
That was the joke last week when I think you had brought up you were surprised that they didn't keep Pennell. And I was like, I know one team that could sure use him. And sure enough, it was Cincy. Now, he is on the practice squad, so it could be a while before he plays. And I wish Mike Pennell all the best and everything. But fans are upset. Like, are you upset because you just think he's a good dude? Totally get it. If you're upset because you think the Chiefs just got drastically worse, I don't get that. Like, we are still talking about a rotational interior defensive lineman that's like 30-something years old. Like, I'm not saying that he can't play football and help a team. No, absolutely. Bengals think he can, and I think he'll end up playing for them this year. But acting like whatever your opinion was on the defensive line should not just shift because Mike Pennell's on the team, with all due respect to him.
I don't want to call this another Cam Devaney situation where where we have to talk about players about realistic versus not realistic, because the truth is Pennell has mattered more than the guys I'm mentioning in the pantheon of what they've done for their respective team. Mike Pennell has mattered for the Chiefs on Super Bowl winning teams. Mattered is like he was one of the 10 most important players? No. Mattered and helped them on their way to Super Bowl title? Yes, absolutely he has. Brett Veach already gave you the answer last week. He told you they want to get younger. They realized that part of their issue on the defensive line, on the interior part, is they already got guys like Jerry Tillery and some of the other stuff, and they needed to have a little bit of youth. Noddy provides them that, but youth. And it's not crazy. Aaron Donald faded in the middle of his 30s. It's not even crazy to think that Mike Pennell showed up and didn't look like Mike Pennell from even 6 months ago. Mike Pennell from 8 months ago, 2 years ago. And that the level of play they feared they were going to get for an entire year wasn't going to make sense for where they were as a roster. But mostly, I would just tell you, this is the level of player you're going to panic about? Of the 53-man roster, Mike Pennell was probably scheduled to be the 40th most important player. 30th maybe, if you're just feeling like an optimist. I don't know. They can make that work in opposite ends. And I don't know. I just trust their personnel decisions is probably
correct. Exactly.
Are people just freaking out because he decided to go to the Bengals? Is that why people like if he would have gone to the Titans? I don't think.
But they were freaking out when he got cut.
Yeah, they weren't happy when he got cut.
Okay, it goes back to this.
I think the only way it went up more, it's not even so much to Cincy, it's the fact that some people thought, oh, he would just be on the street for a month and then they could just bring him back to their practice squad in 2 months or something like that. But like it doesn't mean teams don't make mistakes, but this is no one that I'm not worried about, right? Like the Chiefs cut him because they think they are better without him or someone else is better. That's just the reality of the NFL. That's the move they made. 2 years ago, whatever, or last year he helped them. They don't believe he helps them as much as somebody else. They thought they wanted to get younger. Yeah. It's that simple. It happens all the time. I think it's just because he was a fan favorite a little bit and all that. I do think he can help Cincinnati, but they also, as you would admit, they don't have as good of a defensive front to begin with. So
which is why he's more useful. Which is why, to your point,
that's just how the NFL works. The Chiefs might have, or at linebacker, let's just say, were weaker, so they pick somebody off the waiver list. I'm just making it up. They think there's someone that helps them because they're weaker at a certain position. That's just literally how this whole thing works. So. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Frankly, probably spending too much time even talking about it. But I was surprised like you were with just the reaction to it.
A lot of blowback. People on the text line over on the streams were asking, hey, ask Nate why they decided to bring him back and why can't this work?
Bengals defense is now fixed, just like that.
I don't know about that, but I will say they are already better.
Drew, I think
better.
I think it was you that asked me about Pennell. You're like, do you feel worse about the defensive line?
Yes, because that was one of your concerns.
And it went the exact way I answered the question to you then, which is, no, I'm typically more worried about the team that has to bring in that player in order to feel better about themselves. Cincinnati has one of the worst defensive lines in the NFL, especially in the run-stopping department.
They probably have the worst
of
in
the
run
defensive
department.
line. And so I would say it says more about Cincinnati's current state of being than it says anything about where Kansas City is.
Because how old is he? 34?
From a defensive line standpoint.
Or 30?
He's been around.
He's been 32, 33?
I do think
he's 34.
What Nate Taylor had told us in the last segment at 11, there is some truth to. It does feel like to me that the Chiefs are banking on the idea of those four guys will be good and will make the rest work. Chris Jones.
Omar Norman Lott's going to step up. Yeah, he's going to fill
not even him. Just like Karlaftis, Chris Jones,
Charles Omenihu.
Very
high on, you know that.
Yeah, Charles Omenihu. He's like, and yeah, those guys will be good, and we'll just make the rest of it work. Now, meanwhile, over on NFL Network, this is now the second person I've seen up there have the Chiefs in the wild card. Over on Good Morning Football.
There's a good amount of people who think the Broncos are winning the division.
We were going to get back into it now anyway. I mean, this was how the show started today, and that is Kyle Brandt mentioned it on NFL Network. The next couple days will be the last few days of it, at least, until the Chiefs hopefully prove people, I guess, wrong in one game on Friday night. But they have a chance to remind people why they have had the run they have had, why they still won 15 games last year. And they have a chance to do that beginning Friday night on an international stage in front of a worldwide audience on YouTube. Truly a worldwide audience, because you can just pull it up on YouTube. Obviously, locally, don't worry, you can watch it on 41, I think it is, or whatever. But most people will be just watching it on YouTube. And they've got a chance to go out there, whether we're talking about the defensive line to show that they've improved, whether we're just talking about the offense, frankly, just finding a way to win a football game against a divisional opponent, whatever it may be. The last game they played was embarrassing. They got their butts kicked by the Eagles. And so that's why you're having people say, all right, now's the time to jump in for the Broncos to win the division, or for, the Kelsey's done or
Some guy
Mahomes is
whipped
now
to the Super Bowl. They won it the next year.
there's legitimate people putting Mahomes as the 5th best quarterback in the league. Just stupid stuff, okay? We'll get to the NFL top 100. He was the 5th best player, period. But I don't have as much of an issue with that as the 5th.
I mean, it's still
rated
wrong.
I agree,
yeah,
but
not like,
that one's not as that one's not as crazy, at least.
Yeah.
They had him as the 3rd best quarterback based on that list, which is wrong. But anyway, that's why I'm excited for Friday, though, is they've got a chance. Mahomes has a chance individually as well to shut a lot of people up just like that. The minute the narrative switches to it's rigged for them and they get the calls, that's when you know people are worried again. Yeah, it's the offseason, so you haven't heard that, but you also won't hear it when people are worried about them. If the Chiefs look good in the first few weeks starting Friday, you will start to have people once again claiming things are rigged because that means they're worried. That means that they're fearful of them again. Right now, it's easy
Hearing
not to
that'll
be.
Music to my ears finally, because you're right. It will finally mean, Gold, as you mentioned, that the Chiefs are back where they're supposed to be, and outside of that. And I mean, it just is. I don't know. I guess I don't get anywhere panicked about one player in that scenario, and I don't get panicked about Manti Te'o picking them to finish in the wild card. Again, that's the second person on NFL Network this morning. There's gonna be people to do that. The one thing about this, maybe we'll talk about this later in the week. Is anyone here sure that the Broncos have the better roster 1 through 53? I'm not asking do they have the better offensive line. I think that's pretty clearly Denver. I'm not even asking if you think they got the better pair of the better overall defense or the better pair of pass rushers or whatever the hell you want to say. But like better overall roster.
It's not better.
I don't. If it's better, it's not by much. It's pretty comparable, I would say. So then it's down to coach and quarterback. If we're just talking rosters are fair, and you get me down to that, then we're not even having a conversation. So, it's a layup.
The wide receiver room, not even close.
No, they're you were just talking about banking on people getting better. Their whole narrative shifts on the Broncos side if one of their young players, RJ Harvey, the running back, turns out to be that legit guy. If one of the young receivers, but we're asking about, unknown, Pat Bryant turns out to be, although I am very high on Marvin Mims, their wide receiver. I actually think he's going to have a really nice year for them. I think they're very good. I think they're the second best team in the AFC West. Roster-wise, overall, do I think 1 through 53 is better than Kansas City? No. I actually think it's fairly close. I do. If we take because we're taking the quarterback, the Chiefs have the advantage. We're taking that out of it. But 1 through 53, if you're counting in every single position and some of their strengths as well, I think it's closer than people in Kansas City might want to admit from a roster construction. But you have far better quarterback, far better head coach, and so the Chiefs will win this division again. We haven't got to the AFC West predictions today. We're going to do NFC North in the noon hour, but I know you and I will probably be picking the Chiefs to win the West. We'll find out from Drew in the text line later on in the week.
Were you surprised to see Mahomes at number 5 in the top 100? Well, Saquon Barkley, number 1. They went running back. They've gone defensive player. Anybody who made the coolest play of the year is always
not surprised because we do know how this list goes. In fairness, the list is not about the past. It is about what you just did in the given season. It's voted on in November, when people are questioning certain things.
That is
Saquon
easily the weirdest time to vote on that.
I know, but they vote in November, right? That's what we found out. I believe the ballot in the locker room is like in November or something. I think that's accurate.
Had Saquon jumped over someone backwards yet by then?
I'm not sure. I don't get as mad about this as I used to. I think last year I kind of said I'm done with really paying too much attention to the NFL top 100 because of how they operate. But if you're wondering, Mahomes was 5 and Saquon was 1. Josh Allen was 2. Lamar was 3, or that reversed. Lamar was 2. Josh was 3. And then Jamar Chase was 4. Look, Jamar Chase is incredible. He had a Triple Crown last year.
He's one of the best players in the NFL.
I still think it's crazy that 2 other quarterbacks are in front of Mahomes and a wide receiver and a running back, but whatever.
Yeah.
I understand. I'm not saying Mahomes had to be number 1. I wasn't expecting him to be number 1. I thought he'd be like number 3, number 2. It's just funny.
Yeah, Myles Garrett at number 8.
Myles Garrett's too low, too. Joe Burrow was 6, by the way, if you were wondering.
Patrick Surtain won Defensive Player of the Year. He was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
I guess part of this is I don't expect NFL players to care about positional bias. So, take that out of it. By the way, Saquon had then leaped over someone backwards by the time that they voted. And so it is hard for me to not just assume that they just watched that crazy play and they were like, there it is. Number 1 player in the NFL, baby. We found it. I guess a lot of it is, are they just haters? Are the people who offer this just stupid or haters? They don't want to vote Mahomes one because it's boring or they're dumb.
Well, remember,
like,
a lot of players say they never get the ballot or they just don't really fill it out. So, which players in the locker rooms are actually voting on this thing? I think it was.
Is it the ones who are talking, like who are getting interviewed?
No, they claim it's supposed to be sent to like good chunks of the.
Yeah, this is some of what they said during their last night when the top 5 was unveiled. This is what some of the players said about voting Mahomes 5.
3 words to describe Patrick.
Athlete, rare, and champion.
All right, it's taking too long already. It's taking too long to get to it. It's taking too long.
You didn't like the sound of...
Yeah, it was just taking... I was like, how we get this is going to be weird. Just sit here on the radio and wait.
I will say, their unveil of this year, brutal.
They always wait till the last week, Cody.
Do they always take this long?
Yeah, they wait till the game week.
They always release like 5
week.
at a time for like 2 months?
They started doing this the last 2 years because they like to do it all the way up to game week. But I think they start in middle of June, which is crazy.
Yeah, I don't care who number 91 is.
Didn't they reveal it all in like the month of August leading up to the season?
I thought they used to do it like...
Years ago, it used to be more of that, but now they've dragged it out longer and longer.
I thought it was like a week. They just do like Monday through Friday, 100 to 80, 79 to 60.
Yep.
That's the much better way.
That's how they used to do it.
I've already forgotten where they disrespected other members of the Chiefs. I don't even know where the hell Creed Humphrey is. I just remember they had bad players in front of him. And positional stuff doesn't matter. Well, then how can you tell me Saquon's won?
Well, I told you, I don't have an issue with Saquon being 1. I really don't. I mean, someone points out on the text line, they're like, hey, he broke the single-season rushing record.
Yeah.
And so that's a hell of an accomplishment. I don't have an issue. My issue is more, how are Lamar, Allen, and Chase ahead of him? That's all I'm saying. Those 3 are all better. Come on now. Like, Mahomes should have been 2 or 3.
They played in a combined 1 Super Bowl between the 3 of them.
But players are voting on it, and it's much how the media is right now, which is, it truly is, like, right this second. Not experience and accomplishments. They're like, and last year Mahomes was not the best quarterback in football based on stats and accomplishment. And so that's what people are basing it off of, which is why it's so important, I think, this year. If you're already annoyed by the narrative that's out there that, oh, maybe Allen is better, which I think is wrong, but that's the narrative, that Allen's better, then you better hope that the Chiefs do not lose to the Bills before and the Bills get to the Super Bowl or Burrow or Lamar do, because they do, it'll be consensus nationally. You will have every single publication and everybody will be saying he's now the 3rd or 4th best. That's why it's so important for his stats to bump back up and for the team to continue to have the foot on the gas the way they have the last couple of years, because he's obviously judged against himself, frankly, not anybody else. And so everybody knows last year compared to himself, that was not a good year statistically.
It's what's weird about this, though, is I used to be a part of the same discourse like anyone else. And I don't think it's like a bad discourse of what percentage of the winning relied on Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady. I obviously, like most sane people, shifted that to the, not saying Bill Belichick earned 0, but shifted that to the Tom Brady side once we saw what happened when Tom Brady left and every part of Bill Belichick's career since then, and what Tom Brady did with his continued career after leaving Bill Belichick. So part of me, in a weird way, is now more impressed that Patrick Mahomes can win 15 games, get to a Super Bowl, and do all these things while not looking like a world beater. That he does still have ability and intangibles or anything else you want to say to just drag a damn team across finish lines over and over and over and over again, get them all the way. When teams, you know how hard it is to just get to a Super Bowl? Do you know how long it's been for half the league, 2/3 of the league, the last time they went to a Super Bowl? That even in a year in which we're critical of his play, he's able to drag a team that far. That to me is why I would just like.
I'm with you. I mean, I still think, if we're being honest, if you're asking for a 2-minute drive or a minute drive and your team is down, I don't know how on earth you pick any other quarterback than Mahomes. Period. But as someone on the text line asked, is this the list, the top 100, the best players in the current season list or best players in the league overall? No, clearly it's current season, right? They're voting in November and they're basing it off of what they just saw 3 weeks before that. So that's why I don't put a ton of stock in the NFL top 100. We've said that for a couple of years.
The rushing
it is about what are you doing at that exact moment, basically, in the middle of an NFL season, not what you did the year before. And so they're basing it off of that second. Well, yeah, but we see so much turnover on the list. I mean, what's his name? Barkley was one. Drew, you told me a week or two ago. So Barkley was one. A year ago, Barkley was like 70th. So clearly it's about the current season.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
70th.
Whereas this year, if Barkley gets hurt and he ends up with 700 yards, he'll be 80th. He'll be an immediate
30th. I don't think he'll drop quite that far.
I think he will. I think he will.
I think
sicko behavior.
Last year, I think they said when they revealed Joe Burrow at 6 last year, he was like 41. He was hurt. I think if Saquon...
It is a current season type of thing. If Mahomes throws for 4,300 yards and 42 touchdowns and gets
back to one,
then he's going to... He should... I don't know. At this point, I don't know if he will ever again, based on the way the league, I guess, and the players are handling it, but he should be.
Where was Christian McCaffrey? Because he was...
Well, he was hurt. I don't know if he made the top 100.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at the full NFL top 100. But that's the point. Is that's why I don't put a ton of stock. It is truly, what are you doing... September, October, and November of the season. That's all you're judged on. You could be awesome in December and January and February. 73. Yeah.
73 was Christian McCaffrey.
And he was what the year before? See, that's what I'm saying.
Probably quite a bit higher.
Probably
top 20?
He was probably top 5. Because didn't he...
2023, McCaffrey was...
Or top 10?
In the 30s, it looked like.
I thought or was it the year before that he had that ridiculous season?
Yeah.
Okay. Because he had that one year where he was a touchdown machine.
2022,
he was probably top 5 that year.
In 2022, let's see. 2023 was 35th. 2024, he was number 3.
Yeah.
And then he fell. He was number 3 and then fell to 70th.
That was my mistake one. I thought
3
he
to
might
73.
Take more.
3 to 70.
But it took him he took a step at 35 in between was my argument, I guess.
No. He was at 3 and then he fell to 73 after getting hurt. I'm saying if Barkley's won now and he were to get hurt this year and only play in 8 games, he'd fall to 60, 70, like that range. That's what it's like. It changes so much.
The league is weird. And I know that a lot of this shifts and all this other stuff. And look, we don't have
Someone says they should take quarterbacks out of the NFL top 100 altogether. I kind of like that.
Well, the truth is...
And just rank them separately?
Yep.
Well...
Or just I mean, I just don't even need it anyway, but yeah.
I think having conversations around things that Hall of Fame voters care about matter. No Hall of Fame voter, I don't think, is going to sit in this room and be like, well, Christian McCaffrey... was the number 3 rated player on the top 100.
You're right.
It doesn't matter.
In fairness, the ESPN top 100 might be a more accurate 100 because they base it just simply on who the players are, who the best players
are.
In the league it's the GMs, the people who make the decisions.
Yeah, I think it was Mike Sando. We read the list. Now, doesn't mean I don't disagree with some. If they had Burrow 1B to 1A, Mahomes was 1A, but that at least is GMs. Like you do put a little bit more
hearing from
stock
people in the league,
versus just now you would say, well, these are players. But you talk to any former player,
a
lot of them don't care about the. A lot of them don't vote on. They don't care. Like someone points out, also Trent McDuffie in the '90s it's a sad list. Yeah, McDuffie should not be in the '90s either. This is not me saying every Chiefs player needs to be in the top 15. Trent McDuffie though is not the 90th. Trent McDuffie is not the 90th best player in the league. Come on. He is at minimum McDuffie's a top 50 player, I believe, in the league. Now I'm not saying he needs to be top 20. I think McDuffie at bare minimum should be number 50 on the list. And that's being very reasonable. I think he should be 25 or 30.
Yeah.
I think Trent McDuffie's one of the top 30 players in the league. I really believe that. He's like, if I were to vote on, I would have him like 28 to 30 would be my range.
I probably have him like 30 to 40.
So we're close. Yeah.
Like, because there are a lot of great players in the NFL. Guys from positions we don't think about, including offensive line, right? So you're going to be behind guys like Penei Sewell and some of these guys, but yeah, probably 30 to 40 range, similar. Like, not way below the other corners I think he's just as good as.
Yeah.
Let's just say we all agree that Patrick Surtain's the best corner in the NFL.
If he's at
that
10,
group of 2, 3, 4, wherever those guys are, that's the company he deserves to be keeping.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
He's in the top 5 cornerback rooms in the NFL.
And on the list, if you retired, then are you not on the list? Like, for example, if Kelsey retires... They vote in November, but is he not allowed to be on the NFL top 100 heading into next season?
That's a great question.
Because then you're opening up a bunch of spots.
It feels like no. It feels like they kick you. I mean, I don't know if we've run into that a lot, but
you shouldn't be on the list anymore.
No, I agree.
So you're opening up spots.
The question would be: was Tom Brady in the top 100?
My guess is there's no way.
That would be the question.
Tom Brady was the best quarterback in the NFL until Patrick Mahomes took a snap.
Yeah. Someone says if the Chiefs would have three-peated, would Mahomes have been number 1 on the list?
Yes.
I just meant in terms of like Brady being on the list, period, after he retired.
No,
that was what I was talking about.
I know what you're saying.
Question. Okay. No, he would have been 5th. Because they voted on it in November. They wouldn't have known.
The Super Bowl didn't factor into this list.
Unless the NFL.
Someone says McDuffie top 30. What are you smoking? Puff, puff, pass. Yeah, I would have McDuffie 28 to 30 on the NFL top 100. Yes. You think he's 90? Maybe you don't agree on 30. I'm curious where you would put him.
This person probably also thinks they should pay Trent McDuffie as well. This person probably thinks they should let McDuffie
insane.
walk
Maybe you
when he's done.
disagree on 30, but there's no way in hell McDuffie is the 92nd best player in the league. That's way too low.
Yeah, it's just not accurate.
By the way, coming up at 1 o'clock today, we're going to hear from Andy Reid. Also, Hollywood Brown is scheduled to speak to the media for the first time since that ankle injury during training camp. It's been a bit, so we're expected to hear from both of them coming up in the 1 o'clock hour. But up next, let's get to what's trending. We'll get back into what the Royals are doing starting tonight.
This is Cody and Gold on your new home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by Heartland Men's Health, the leader in men's sexual health. Thousands of men have been successfully treated for low T, ED, and more, all with discretion and compassion. Make your appointment at heartlandmenshealth.com.
You want that dream outdoor space. All-weather decks can handle it for you. The right deck at the right price. Prime deck sitting weather right now in Kansas City. As we've continued to have temperatures in the 70s, spent all kinds of time on the screen porch. You could have your own dream screen porch built over at All Weather Decks. That's just one of the many projects they do, and photos you can see of all of them. They got 20 photos of their wood decks, 20 photos of their covered decks, their patios, their pergolas, their outdoor fire pits, if that's one of your favorite fall activities. Doesn't matter whether you need stonemasonry work, woodwork, anything outside of there, they'll build that dream outdoor space for you. I tell you to go look at the photos because that really can encourage you to see through what these other projects can look like and what a dream outdoor space could look like for you. But if you've already got that project in mind, well, they can help you just build and put that to life all on your own. They're locally owned and operated. They're a 24-time winner of Angie's List Super Service Award. Super easy to get in contact with, and we'll do a free estimate for you as well. So give you a breakdown of every little part of the project you might want over at All Weather Decks. Give them a call, 913-206-1974, or online at allweatherdecks.net.
Taco Tuesdays just got a whole lot steamier at Boru Asian Eatery. Forget tortillas. We're serving up soft, pillowy bao buns stuffed with bold, flavorful fillings for just $2.50 each. Because who says tacos have to be basic? Come get your bao fix every Tuesday at Boru in Waldo. Boru, a part of the Summit Hospitality Group and a proud taco partner of the Cody and Gold Show on 96.5 The Fan.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code CODE to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code CODE for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, it's Gold, and I'm letting you know that FanDuel is coming to Missouri. That's right, FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming to Missouri. The long wait will soon be over. We've been talking about sports betting in Missouri for years, truly years, but it's finally coming on December 1st. You'll be able to bet on all your favorite teams and all your favorite sports. With FanDuel, there's a ton of ways for you to get on the action. You can bet on everything from the money line to those over-unders to which team is going to win it all. You can build parlays, bet on player props, ride the live lines, whatever your style is, FanDuel has you covered. Plus, with live betting, you can even pick which player will score the next touchdown and the one after that. Mark your calendars. FanDuel is coming to Missouri on December 1st. See for yourself why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. FanDuel, play your game. FanDuel Sportsbook is an official partner of 96.5 The Fan. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Creed Humphrey. Kansas City has the best fans in the world and the best bull riding team in the PBR. The Outlaws are looking to win it all this year, but they can't do it without you. I'm the chief of Outlaw Attitude, and I need you to pack the house. So buckle up and make some noise. The Outlaws are coming, and we know KC will be there with us. Come see Kansas City's next dynasty and join me at PBR Team Outlaw Days, October 3rd through 5th.
Looking to drive your finances downfield? Main Street Credit Union is the hometown team you can trust. We help you build credit, lower monthly expenses, and finance with confidence. Or if you need a loan to grow your small business, we've got flexible options and no hidden fees. At Main Street, it's not just about the win, it's about keeping Kansas City moving forward. One goal, 1 yard, 1 member at a time. Get in the game at mainstreetcu.org.
I'm Jace Brown, and Canes fuels my game.
The Wildcats and their fans are some of the most dedicated in football. It's a quality we share, and that fuels every single order of our hand-battered chicken fingers. Wherever there's football, there's Raising Canes. One Love, official partner of K-State Athletics.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
At Straight Talk, we get it. You say no a lot.
Mom, can I get a tarantula?
No.
Coffee?
No. So we're giving you more reasons to say yes, like a free 5G phone with real unlimited data with select plan activation.
Can I use the free phone?
Yes. See? Doesn't it feel good to say yes to more?
Absolutely. Face tattoo?
Absolutely not. Available at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Taxes and fees apply. In-store activation of Gold Unlimited plan or higher required. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym. Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get. Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me. I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real? Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean. And it's made a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom. Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves? Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text BEACH to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BEACH to 42424. That's BEACH to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
What's up, KC? It's Chris Jones. Tune in on game days to hear the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Klang on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station. What's trending?
Number one on What's Trending, the Royals begin a series, I should say, against the Angels tonight. Has not begun yet. It will tonight, 6:40. First pitch, Michael Lorenzen is on the bump. Ferns on Deck show at 5:30. Well, I was trying to get a little momentum here. We are in the month of September. It's been the home stretch for a while, but it truly is the home stretch there. 2.5 back from a playoff spot, back of the Mariners. Now, the Rangers did leapfrog them over the weekend. The Rangers, one of the hottest teams in baseball, unfortunately. The Royals do get the Mariners later on this month. But the Rangers suddenly are also a team that are back in the mix after at one point the Rangers fell to 6.5 back, but they've been hot.
Do have a tiebreaker against the Rangers due to a good season series against them. Certainly makes things more appealing there. Next up on What's Trending, the Chiefs game week. Obviously official here. Practice getting ready to get underway in about an hour from now. Andy Reid scheduled to talk to the media. Coming up, Patrick Mahomes will talk to the media on Thursday. Obviously to meet some of the, I think, international part of the media from Sao Paulo before their game on Friday. Normally he would not talk the day before a game day, but obviously things looking a little bit different. It looks like, according to most reports, it'll be the same player missing, Jalen Royals. Everyone else has been on the practice field all weekend for the Chiefs.
Some NFL news in the last hour. The Buffalo Bills are re-signing their former wide receiver, Gabe Davis. Remember, he left Buffalo, went to Jacksonville, never worked out down there. He tore his meniscus. He was available for the last month, I think, at least, if not more. I don't know if he actually ever was in camp with anybody, but Gabe Davis is going to go to the practice squad for the Bills. He's still only 26 years old, but just did not do well away from Buffalo, and now the Bills bring him back.
He didn't do that good in Buffalo. He had that 1 year, 900 yards, where people thought he was getting ready to explode onto the scene.
Destroyed the Chiefs in one game, and
he had like
that's
200
what
yards.
boosted his stock drastically.
Yeah, that was probably not outside of it. Lastly, on what's trending, we'll talk maybe more about it later. Only standalone college football game last night. North Carolina got whipped by TCU in Chapel Bill, as they're calling him's debut.
Drew loves
Obviously,
that.
I know he hates it.
Drew
you know,
loves
it's the same
Chapel
thing.
Bill.
You know how many times I've been added now in jersey number days away till the Chiefs NFL season?
Chapel Bill.
Every day.
I just enjoyed all the funny social media comments. You know, his girlfriend, Belichick's girlfriend, entering the transfer portal. The final score, the same as the age gap between him and Jordan. All that kind of stuff was fun. I will mention, Cody, one more thing for what's trending. I saw KSHP 41 reporting that they're hearing that the FIFA World Cup pre-sale will begin on Wednesday, October 1st. Sign up for it will begin September 10th through the 19th.
Okay.
That's according to 41.
I'm obviously going to sign up for it.
Yeah, so I believe it's a Visa pre-sale October 1st, but the sign up for the pre-sale, if that makes sense. So the sign up for the pre-sale starts September 10th.
And we're not
going to
know.
Not till December 5th will we know the group, all that kind of stuff.
I wonder if when the pre-sale hits, if you know like if they'll give you group positions in the stages, or if you're just blindly selecting a day.
Oh, that's a good question.
And maybe it's the best team in the group. Maybe it's the worst team in the group.
My guess is you're buying dates.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, you
don't know the group's going to be.
You don't know the group. You're just buying, hey, I want the Saturday, June 20th. I'm making up dates. June 25th or whatever.
I'll enter for every single day available. I do not care which teams I get to go see.
Well, it's not a lottery. I mean, it'll be like you'll just go in and you'll pick a day that's available. Like it's not. I don't think it's a full-blown lottery. It's
and then maybe you'll get lucky and you get to
pre-sale.
see the best team in the group play or whatever. Yeah, that might be how it works.
Yeah, that's what's trending here on Cody and Gold. Don't forget it's normally on a Monday, but look, we didn't have the show. I don't know if you guys mentioned. I want to make sure we give some love to our lunch partner on Monday. We'll kind of back things up through the rest of the week as well. So 30 Hop, of course, is our Monday lunch partner here on Cody and Gold. 30 Hop, 2 locations in Kansas City, right down the street from us in Merriam, also one out in Lee Summit. You mentioned the decks and patios. It is a great time to go to one of the expansive patios.
Outside.
They have massive patios. Great spot there at 30 Hop. Make sure to check them out for their happy hours on Monday. $5.99 classic burgers. So next Monday, I understand today's Tuesday, but we weren't on the show, so I want to make sure we mention our friends over at 30 Hop, and we'll talk about our Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday a little bit later on in the week.
Perfect. Can't wait. Obviously, there's lots going on this week. KUMU, more college football, right? We got to find out whether or not they bounce back from at least that end, so we go back into there as well. And then, starting tonight, the Royals are only 2.5 games back of a playoff spot. They've remained in that range. And now, Gold, Jack Caglione, our guy Cags, and the local kid, Carter Jensen, both get the call this weekend. And if you're saying the thing I like the most about it, and you and I have continued to say this year, I do not understand people who are like, let's just wait till next year. Hell no. They're 2.5 games back. Go for it. And the best chance to make the playoffs for this team is Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen getting hot. Yeah, with the rest of the stuff, Vinny continuing to do what he's done well. Although that haircut, I got some questions about.
I like it. I think
you like it?
It's
you like
different.
Vinny's new dude?
I think it's hilarious.
I knew Drew would like the haircut.
I think it's hilarious.
It was just a bet he made with Salvi about something about being over 500 in September or something like that. I don't know what the details are. We'll find out today.
Does DeJuan cut everyone's hair who is an athlete in this entire
label.
City?
He's Purple Label. He's kind of the guy. Yeah.
Salvi's, Patrick's, Bobby's, Vinny's. I didn't even know.
They all know each other. And then a new player gets called up. And like, oh, by the way, I get my haircut from this guy. I'm sure it's just now it's just consistent.
I guess we'll see Carter Jensen out there.
Yeah, Drew. I knew you would like the haircut. Would you do that cut, Drew?
No.
Okay. I don't like it that
much.
much.
Imagine how I would look with that hair. First, you know how long you have to grow it first?
I will say this: if he's still playing lights out, he can't change it. He has to stick with
But
it.
he's playing lights out with the old hair.
Correct. The worry is now, let's say he gets cold.
That would be tough.
He's had an interesting look because, like, at the beginning of the year, it felt like he was going full Italian Heritage Month. Like, his hair was, like, long and flowing, and he had kind of, like, more of the mustache-style hair, and then he went clean-shaven for, like, a few weeks, and that threw me off.
Was that was the clean shaven a shaving mishap, or just he was too damn hot outside, and he's like, I got to get rid of this stuff?
I wonder if it was just, like, too hot. You know, like, maybe get, like, an itch under the beard, and you're like, I got to clean this up, got to get a little, I got to moisturize it under there. I don't know.
I will say, though,
I didn't ask him.
As far as the moves, though, you're right. I mean, having Cags and Carter Jensen is an all-in move for September. It's exciting. I don't know how you're not excited as a fan of the Royals to see that. I'm surprised that these were the two moves they were able to make. Now, an injury to Jonathan India is why they were able to call both of them up. Remember, J.J. Picollo last week said they were going to call up one hitter, one pitcher due to just roster restrictions.
And they did that.
And they did. Avila's up as well. It's just with Jonathan India going to the IL, they're able to make this move.
Do you think the extra guy was Carter Jensen or Jack Caglione? If Jonathan India wasn't hurt, who is because there's an argument.
I don't know if we'll ever get the answer.
No, you won't be able to pry it out of JJ. But the truth is,
that,
because Salvador Perez does seem not worn down, but like again, was playing better when Freddie Fermin was here and had the chance to take some of those innings off of him, which I think is always just a benefit to Salvador Perez. You could make an argument that it was getting ready to be Jensen and Cags was the extra guy because of India. I don't know.
Yeah, well, based on what JJ was telling us last week, you and I both thought it wasn't going to be Cags, just based on how he was phrasing the call up or potential call up. But they're both up. Neither one's going to play every day. They're going to be in situational spots. Carter Jensen, I don't know, maybe makes his debut at some point, tonight. If not, it'll be this series, obviously. We'll see with the lineup and maybe there's a pinch hit spot. It makes them a deeper team. Now, it's tricky with all the left-handed bats. I mean, how Q is going to navigate that. We're going to see even more in-game moves than we've already seen, which are a ton, by the way. That's just how they operate. But we're going to see it even more.
Oh, yeah, because the lefty-heavy lineup against righties, second a left-handed reliever gets in, the lineup's going to get flipped again.
So be ready for a lot more movement than we already see in a lineup adjustment or defensive adjustment, I should say, in-game and things like that. But, yeah, can Cags provide you something off the bench, even in a pinch hit spot? We know he's got the power, right? The question is consistent quality at bats. And hopefully this does build momentum for next year. But more importantly, right now, as JJ was telling us, they're making moves to win right now. And this was another sign of it. If he can help you win a baseball game, that's why he's up here. We can talk about his long-term future. I don't think this next month is going to clear anything up necessarily. If he's awesome, if he's terrible, this month is not going to decide what he is as a big leaguer. But it's going to shape the narrative all offseason. I understand that's the case for a lot of fans. To me, we will not know until a full 2026 season where things really are at with Jack Caglione as a big league player. Not what he does the final 20 games or whatever it is going to be, hopefully more, in September. But I am excited to see both of them up with the club, and we'll see how often they play, though. And, they're going to ride the hot hand. So if Cags or Carter Jensen get off to a good start immediately, well, they're going to find more ways to get those guys in the lineup.
What's crazy is it shouldn't count less than the portion we saw before. Let's just say Cags plays 20 games the remaining of the year because he gets hot, they keep him in, and he's a great hitter the rest of the way. Well, that means just as much as the 40 before. We're talking about 2/3 versus a third of a 60-game Major League career. Both can be equally true or more true than the other. So to your point, we'll get back into the beginning part of next season and just say, well, I'm starting with my opinion of him from scratch. He is still the most dynamic power hitter they have available. Carter Jensen, by the way, has been putting up some big power numbers himself in AAA. So I don't want to dismiss the fact that the two guys they just added are two of the better power hitting guys they have on there. And for a team that has hit for way more power since the All-Star break, they still lack it in the bottom part of the order where these two guys are likely to go. What was surprising to me over this weekend, and I don't know what the record is now that they lost. This was before they lost the game on Sunday. Before the loss on Sunday, the Royals had the best record in the American League from the All-Star break on. I mean, that's pretty telling of the level of baseball they have been playing up to this point. Good. Really, really good baseball. Best record in the American League from the All-Star break on were the Royals up until Sunday's loss against Detroit.
And unfortunately, it tells you how big of a hole they dug themselves. That's the frustrating thing. Like, as great as it is, that's what's frustrating is because that's the
you should
type
be in a
of ball
playoff spot right
they're
now.
playing. Instead, yeah, they're 2.5 back, but A week ago, there was only one team in front of them. There's two. I know we've talked about the Texas thing, and yes, 2.5 games is obviously in reach. I'm just saying this is why when there were 40 games left and they were 4 out, people are like, oh, there's plenty of time to make it up. It's like, it sounds like there is, but there's really not. And so now there's 20 some odd games left. Yes, you're 2.5 back, but another team is in front of you now. You can say it's just about the Mariners. Sure, I agree to a certain extent. But the Rangers got hot enough to where now they're in front of you, and the Guardians
they're
are only
from the game perspective, but they're
and the Guardians. You can say they don't matter, fine, but they're only a game behind you now. I'm just saying, like that's why it is constantly foot on the gas. You have to. This Angels team you're playing is not any good. Have to win the series. Every series now you're basically at have to win, unless you think you're sweeping the Mariners and picking up 3 games right there.
How many games do we think that Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione play?
Out of what's the exact number of games left?
They have, here, I can look it up. I think it's like 23, 24 or something like that. But let's look up the exact number. It might be a few more than that. I haven't looked up the Royals' exact game total here left. I keep checking the standings. I'm curious about that more.
Are they capable of playing 9 to 10 game above 500 ball the rest of the way?
That's what they have. We pointed this out. That's what they have been playing.
Yep.
But they do have to continue to play that outside of that. They have 25 games remaining. So they have 70 wins right now. To get to 86 wins, they will have to go 16-9 over the course of that stretch in order to get to 86 wins.
If you think that's the number, and you and I tend to think it is.
I kind of feel like that's where it's going to fall when all things shake out. Like as it sits right now, I guess the Mariners are 73-65. You could probably do the easy math on that. They've played 138 games, so let's see. Their win percentage is .528. If you take that over a 162-game schedule, that's 85.5 wins, Gold.
Okay.
That's what the Mariners are currently pacing
So
for.
80, you need to get to 86.
86, 87 wins is probably you're looking at. 16-9.
As far as how many games,
17-8, that's what we're looking at.
You asked the question, how many games are Cags in?
I think they both play 18 to 20.
Yeah, so what's tricky about this, it's truly right in the hot hand. So
18 to 20. That's what's tough.
Yeah, not start. Yeah, no chance. Yeah, I think because of the opportunity with the bat in 8th or 9th inning pinch hit role for someone on the the bottom of the order or something like that. Yeah, that's probably the right range, Cody. I think you're pretty close. If one of them gets hot, then it bumps up and they play in 20 plus. But that would require them immediately hitting the ground running. And we're talking about Cags, who struggled the last time it was up. We're also still talking about Carter Jensen making his big league debut. So
for the same reason we mentioned Cags,
yes.
Sometimes you get to the bigs and it's a bit slow going there in the early going. But the other problem is like Luke Maile is just. This goes back to the whole Cags thing. It's not even meant to be a knock on like guys like Nick Lofton or some of these others. It's just the potential with Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. The potential with Carter Jensen over Luke Maile is 10 times that offensively. It's 10 times that with Jack Caglione over Tyler Tolbert or Nick Lofton or some of the other guys. Tyler Tolbert's been in 3 of the last 5 lineups.
No, I'm with you.
So
I don't need
you just got to
Tolbert
take
in the
those
lineup.
chances.
Yeah, like Tolbert as a base runner is fine. I don't need him in the lineup. And with who they have on the roster, there's no reason he should be in the lineup the rest of the way. Honestly, like
I'd be surprised.
It makes no sense. Nor I just don't know why he would be in the lineup. But you mentioned potential, and that's true for guys like Cags and obviously Carter Jensen. The tricky thing is there's 25 games left. Nick Lofton may not have the same ceiling, and he doesn't as those guys. But right this second,
his floor is better.
That's the issue,
But you're behind. If you had the playoff spot, that's what's funny. If they were 2.5 games up in the playoff spot, I don't think they'd play it the same way. I think it would be Luke Maile. I do think it would be more Lofton. I do think the floor conversation would be more valuable to the team and would make more sense if just the roles were reversed. But because you're chasing and there's only 25 games, it's ceiling time. We're out here swinging for the fences. I mean, literally, with Caglione and Carter Jensen and their chances of the playoffs.
But you also can't have a guy in the everyday lineup, though, that is going to go 0 for 4 because he's doing that and that only, right? Like, there's the balance. That's why I think he's going to be more of a guy that comes in later in the game. I don't know how many actual starts Cags is going to get. Yeah, he's got the power potential. He's got the power potential, sure, but is the swing just magically fixed?
I think they're both starting 10 to 15, appear in 18 to 20. I think they're both starting at least half of the remaining games, and I think that because I do think that they'll try to get Salvi a little bit of rest, and I think that and I do think that they got a better chance to start over the next at least 10 games while Jonathan India is on the injured list, and they don't have the right-handed bat to kind of balance that. I am curious. I had not looked up. Fangraphs has the Royals now down to a 10.8% chance to make the playoffs. They're about 17% on Fangraphs about a week ago. They are technically closer in games based on the last time we checked, but there are a whole hell of a lot less games remaining.
Hey, and there's another team in front of them.
And there's another team in front of them. They got the Rangers higher than them at an 18% chance to make the postseason. So honestly, the truth is, if they were just reversed, they'd probably have them at about the same percentage chance to make the postseason.
We'll talk more about the Royals tomorrow with Josh Vernier. Obviously, let's see how they do tonight in Game 1 against the Angels out at Kauffman Stadium. Plus, if either Cags or Carter Jensen get into the game tonight, my guess is at least one of them does in some form or fashion. Yeah. Plus, sometimes you want to get the Carter Jensen big league debut out of the way.
I love a good major league debut.
Yeah, that's what's fun about it. But it is crunch time, to say the least. 25 games to go. All right, we'll continue our NFL divisional look for the 2025 season. We've been going around the league. We've been going division by division. Today, we land on the NFC North.
Okay, so it sounds like I'll let you go first because it sounds like you got a heavy lean on the Packers.
Well, I do. If I'm going to tell you earlier in the show that if I had to bet $100 on teams to win the Lombardi and I would part ways with my $100 potentially, how many teams would I bet to win the Super Bowl? The Packers are one of the four. So yeah, I will go Packers to win the division. Look, I understand the concern about Jordan Love, but I think Matt LaFleur is one of the better head coaches. Yeah, I do think by the season's end, Matthew Golden will be viewed as one of the better receivers in football. Josh Jacobs is still there. The defense is legit. Add in Micah Parsons to the mix as well. That division is tricky because I love Kevin O'Connell and the scheme and everything there in Minnesota, but I'm still very, very skeptical of J.J. McCarthy. I don't think the Vikings are making the playoffs this year. So I have the Packers winning it, the Lions and the Bears making the postseason. I have Caleb Williams taking a big leap with Ben Johnson this year. So Bears end up basically finishing third as a wild card in the division. Lions finish second as a wild card. Packers win the division. They will host a divisional round playoff game.
So you've got three teams out of the playoffs. Game. We'll give our full 14 team fields, I'm sure, on Thursday as we kind of get in there and then give you our Super Bowl predictions that day as well. Mm-hmm. I'm going to, even though I told you I would give the Packers a better chance to win than the Lions, I will still take the Lions to win this division. I've softened a little bit on my offseason rhetoric on the J.J. McCarthy. They've tried to replace him because the reports are that he looks pretty good, but it's still the same thing. I swear to you, they spent 6 months trying to find someone to back up J.J. McCarthy in case J.J. McCarthy stunk. And if that's how a team was already viewing their situation before, I'm not willing to pick them as a division winner. I'm not picking the Bears until they actually prove a damn thing in the NFL. No thanks. Prove to me you're an actually good team. The Packers are the team that I would seriously consider outside of that gold for the same reason. They were the 5th best scoring defense in the NFL last year without Micah Parsons. And that was in a division that could score. Vikings could score. Lions could score. And they were still the 5th best scoring defense in the league. I'll still give the Lions the edge. I'll say that they're not falling off the difference between them and the Packers last year. The Vikings are the team I think they overcome. So I've got it Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears.
Yeah, someone on the text line says, what has Matt LaFleur done in the playoffs to impress you? I would say, what NFC coach other than Sirianni and Shanahan has done anything to impress you at this point? Honestly.
They also were weren't they also ahead of the Niners in the final possession of the game that to get to the NFC title game?
I'm not sure.
They were in the NFC title game, weren't they?
Using the playoff thing against them doesn't make any sense, though, because honestly, other than Sirianni and Shanahan, in the NFC, tell me what coach you feel good about in the postseason. And also, in their own division, we're just doing also, the playoff point makes no sense. We're just doing a NFC North conversation.
Yeah.
But Kevin O'Connell, who I like, he's 0-2 in the playoffs. Matt LaFleur hasn't won a playoff game either, or only has one, or whatever it is so this idea that Matt LaFleur has done less, Dan Campbell actually has the best record in the postseason of anybody in that division. But we're not talking postseason. We're talking winning your division, and I'm going with the Packers.
Matt LaFleur has been the head coach of the Green Bay Packers for 6 years. They've made the playoffs 5 of those 6 years. They went to back-to-back conference title games with Aaron Rodgers. They've lost in the wild card in the divisional round each of the last 2 years.
He's better off than any of the other guys. What are we talking about?
His playoff record of wild card, division, conference title game, 4 years in a row. My issue is that with Aaron Rodgers, he finished first in the division. With Jordan Love, he's finished third, second, and third. I don't think that that's not a Jordan Love thing, right?
No, I also think it's the Detroit Lions now exist.
That absolutely could be a portion of it.
It's a little bit of both, maybe.
There's some missing element there with Jordan Love, the way I described Justin Herbert. As in, I'm not like banging the table saying the guy's no good, guy can't play. It's like, are you a killer? Is there some part of you that has like another level that I haven't seen yet and you're getting ready to show it to me? Because Goff does show some killer stuff sometimes. He's playing in a Super Bowl. He's been to conference.
Yeah, the only, real quick, I'll say before, Drew, you give us your divisional outlook. The text line brings up one other name for the NFC. Like, again, we're having an NFC North convo, but for the playoff convo, coach-wise, Sean McVay would be the other name. That's fair.
Yeah, of course.
McVay, Shanahan, Sirianni.
Drew, quickly, who are your 4 in order?
Packers, Lions, Vikings, Bears.
Do you think all 3 do you have 3 playoff teams out of that division?
I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I believe at least 2.
I have 2.
I'm leaning 3, but I've got at least 2.
You have the Bears still finishing last. You think Caleb Williams just doesn't have it?
That doesn't mean that I think this might be the best division in football outside of the AFC West, where they're vying for, where the Bears could go 8-9, and they just
still last.
You know, the division's just tough.
Yeah.
But it's still the same thing. All
right, Cody, so you're going Lions. Drew's going Packers. I'm going
Yep.
Packers as well. That's a look at the NFC North. Tomorrow we'll continue going around the NFL. Up next, though, we were just touching on it a little bit. How many legit contenders for that Lombardi are there? I only have 4.